What?
Cool,
I thought
chill.
you said something.
I did. So it's being slowed.
Slowed?
Yeah, computer's being slowed
Oh.
by 19 apps.
Who gives a shit?
How many assholes we got on this ship anyhow? Yo! I knew it. I'm surrounded by assholes.
19.
All right. Yeah, 19.
19 to be exact.
19 appholes.
Appholes.
You're welcome.
Appholes.
Anyway, oh boy. Welcome back. We are the Bonsai Movie Crew. Don't forget to check out all the social stuff down there.
Somewhere.
You guys want to just jump right into it, or?
I don't know what else to talk about. I don't really have anything.
These are pretty long. The movie and the
are they?
creator profile is pretty long. So
Yeah, might as well jump right on into it.
Okay.
1 minute.
I'll do the creator profile if you want
okay. Does anybody know who it is?
John Krasinski.
No.
No?
Emily Blunt.
Emily Blunt.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I figured John would be the one.
They were both in mind, huh?
Sicario.
Oh, Sicario. It's a good movie.
It is.
It's a really good movie.
But I was like, I've seen two things. Like,
From her?
yeah.
Devil Wears Prada.
Nope, never seen it.
Jungle Cruise.
Nope, never seen it.
Live, Die, Repeat. That Edge of Tomorrow movie with Tom Cruise.
Nope. It's on my list to watch.
Oh, it's really good.
Never seen it.
What else has she been in? This.
Yeah, this and Sicario.
Mary Poppins remake or sequel, whatever the fuck it is.
Never seen it.
I've seen her in a bunch of shit.
I mean,
man.
you can keep going, but that's the only two movies we've seen.
Really?
With
Yep,
her.
this one and this and Sicario.
And if it was Krasinski, it would have been this movie.
Yep.
This movie and
The Office.
The
And The
Office.
Office.
Yeah. Now, he is an If. I haven't seen it yet, though. I haven't watched it yet.
Nah, that's who he directed that.
Yeah, he directed it, and he's also in it.
But watching The Office, you know he's a great actor because he does.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah.
I like John.
Well, I mean,
Krasinski.
this
He's great.
movie, holy shit,
He also plays Jack.
Ryan.
Jack Ryan, yeah.
The Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
I've never watched any of that.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I like him a lot, actually.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Oh, I don't have a problem with John Krasinski. I just haven't seen a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, Emily Blunt with her fine ass.
Yeah, I know you got a crush.
Yeah, I do. I do like her a lot.
That's why he picked her.
I mean, it definitely played a part.
Played a role.
Mm-hmm.
Who is Emily Blunt? British actor Emily Blunt is best known for the movies The Devil Wears Prada, Into the Woods, A Quiet Place, and Oppenheimer,
That's another one.
for which she earned an Academy Award nomination. She pursued acting from a young age and found her earliest professional footing in theater before her movie debut into 2004's My Summer of Love. 2 years later, she enjoyed her breakthrough role as a cutthroat magazine assistant in The Devil Wears Prada. Blunt won a 2007 Golden Globe for her performance in the TV movie Gideon's Daughter and has received 6 additional nominations. She is married to fellow actor John Krasinski, and the couple has 2 children.
Lucky bastard.
Early years. Emily Blunt was born in London on February 23, 1983. She became interested in acting at an early age, and when she was 18, she landed the classic role of Juliet in Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet in a production for the UK something festival. Around that same time, she made her debut on the London stage opposite Judi Dench.
Did you say Jopposite?
Yeah, because I was
Jopposite?
I was looking at Judi Dench and had to read opposite at the same time.
Jopposite.
Jopposite. I'm not even going to read Judi Dench because you already know. in the royal family. For her work, Blunt was named Best Newcomer by the Evening Standard. Movies and TV shows. British TV soon came calling, and Blunt appeared on such shows as Foyle's War and Agatha Christie. She also landed a recurring role in the miniseries Empire. She then found her acting footing in TV movies such as Henry and The Strange Case of Sherlock Holmes and Arthur Conan Doyle.
Oh, wasn't she also in Gulliver's Travels? The one with Jack Black?
You're asking the wrong person.
I'm almost
Never seen
positive. I don't know.
I think I've said this before. I've seen 2 things with her. Blunt made the jump. I've never seen Gulliver's Travels, is what I'm saying.
I don't know that I have. I can't.
Blunt made the jump to the big screen during this period, making an impression in My Summer of Love, in which she played a character who had a summer fling with another woman. Portrayal received raves, and her next big break was just around the corner. The Devil Wears Prada and Edge of Tomorrow. 2006, Blunt co-starred in the movie The Devil Wears Prada, based on the best-selling novel of the same name, and was nominated for a Best Supporting Actress Golden Globe. She didn't win in that category, but did receive a Globe for her work in the TV movie Gideon's Daughter. The Devil Wears Prada also earned Blunt a BAFTA nomination.
Looper. She was also in Looper. You guys seen that?
Nope.
Is
John or not with Bruce.
Oh yeah, I've
Willis
seen a
and,
Looper.
uh,
Yeah, I've seen
Joseph
Looper.
Gordon-Levitt.
yeah,
Yeah.
Blood, like younger.
Yeah.
Yeah, younger.
Yeah, I think that's on my list too.
It's actually pretty good.
It's
Yeah,
a good
it's a
movie.
good movie.
I'm sure it is.
Yeah. And she was in Gulliver's Travels. Oh, she was also in The Wolfman, the remake.
I haven't seen that.
Forgot
movie.
about that.
That's the beneath. Is that the one with beneath?
Mhm.
Yeah,
I do want to see that.
Their Shout is or Scream Factory's putting out a 4K
Yeah.
release of that. In
Yeah.
October.
It's not bad. People gave it a lot of shit.
No,
but it
I
wasn't
fully
bad.
believe it would be good. I mean, Benicio del Toro playing.
Yeah. Oh, he did great. Yeah, I thought he did a great
for
job.
sure. I'm sure he did. The Devil Wears Prada also earned Blunt a BAFTA nomination for its Rising Star Award, and it marked the beginning of the end of her life on the small screen. More and more roles followed, including parts in the Jane Austen book club, Dan in Real Life, and Charlie Wilson's War, all released in 2007. In 2008, Vanity Fair magazine named Blunt one of its top fresh faces, and she followed that honor in such diverse films as Sunshine Cleaning. I have seen that. I just don't remember it very well.
I've never seen it. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's
though.
about
They clean up dead
clean up-
bodies and shit
they clean up like
after hits.
crime scene.
Or yeah, crime scenes. That's what it
Yeah.
is.
Never heard of it.
The Young Victoria Golden Globe lead actress nomination for her portrayal of Queen Victoria and the Wolfman. While followed, her increasingly solid performances were mainstream movies, the likes of which Blunt's career had not yet seen. She co-starred in The Adjustment Bureau, The Muppets, Salmon Fishing in Yemen, Golden Globe.
Adjustment Bureau. You said
Oh,
adjacent. Yeah. It had Matt Damon in it.
I've never seen that either.
I've seen it.
Never even heard of it, honestly.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's a good movie too.
Before appearing in the Tom Cruise-led sci-fi blockbuster Edge of Tomorrow, a movie that both fans and critics applauded. Into the Woods, A Quiet Place, and Beyond. The 2014 holiday season saw Blunt showcasing her singing chops in the film adaptation of the Stephen Sondheim musical Into the Woods, co-starring Anna Kendrick, Johnny Depp, and Tracy Ullman, among a league of other thespians. Blunt played the baker's wife opposite James Corden, with the couple trying to have a child through the machinations of a witch. It's a weird word for that.
Yeah.
Blunt received her 5th Golden Globe nomination for the role. The following year, she earned more acclaim for her lead role in Sicario, playing an FBI agent who becomes embroiled in the Mexican drug wars. The project saw her reunited with Benicio del Toro, with whom she co-starred in The Wolfman. In 2016, she played Queen Freya
Sicario. Or is that what you're talking about? Okay.
in The Huntsman, Winter's War. In early 2018, Blunt starred in the hit horror flick A Quiet Place alongside her real-life husband, John Krasinski, who also directed the feature. Later that year, she headlined the successful musical Mary Poppins Returns, drawing another Golden Globe nod for her performance as the titular nanny. Next up for the actor was a return to the world of silent horrors in A Quiet Place 2, followed by appearing with Dwayne Johnson in the action-adventure Jungle Cruise, based on the popular Disney ride.
Crap.
Anytime
Ride
you
or the
base a
movie?
movie
The
on
movie.
a ride, I
It's
feel
not
like
the
you're
first
not
time
going to
they've
do.
done it.
That's what I'm saying, though. Like, you're not going to do
the
so
movie,
great.
I mean, the movie wasn't terrible, but it was just kind of like blah. The best part was fucking what's his face? I can't remember his name now. Fuck. He was in Shoot 'Em Up.
Owen,
Not Owen. Not Clive Owen.
Clive Owen.
The bad guy. Can't remember his fucking name.
didn't see it, so I don't know. I was just trying to help.
Shoot 'em up.
Shoot 'Em Up.
Oh, no, that's
The bad guy from
Yeah.
Shoot 'Em Up.
I
I
thought you
can't
were
remember his
talking about
fucking
the-
name. It's G.
how is
fucking,
it? I think that's like catching when somebody can't remember the name,
It
and then
sucks,
it's like,
yeah,
fuck.
and then you're like, everybody's like,
Nobody's
fuck.
like, nobody can remember the
It's
guy's name.
contagious.
Paul Giamatti.
There
Paul
it
Giamatti.
is.
Yeah, that's
I
it.
knew. I was gonna say his last
Yeah.
name's weird.
Paul Giamatti was the best part of that movie. So
I'm still drawing a blank.
And he wasn't even in it very long.
You'd know him if you saw him.
Probably.
Google
Kind
him.
of short, stout, balding.
He's kind of goofy. Look,
yeah,
got a weird smile.
yeah. But he always plays a great bad guy. He's a good character actor too.
he's
I
yeah.
like him. I like him.
I like how he talks.
I want to see that. The newest one that he's been in. I don't remember what it's called, but apparently he had to stay
Oh, okay.
during the winter or something with 2 kids in a school.
Oh, you talking about that one he just got nominated for? It just came out, I believe, earlier this year.
Yeah, it's not very old.
No, it's not old.
The Holdovers.
Yeah, the holdovers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. 'Cause people were like, "Oh, he needs to be nominated." Blah blah blah.
Yeah, at Christmas break. That he has to stay at school with them because they don't have any place to go. So, I don't know. I thought the trailer looked good.
I don't think I've even.
They got
seen
a lot of praise.
I don't think I've even heard of that, honestly.
Yeah, I think he was in. Was he in Private Parts too?
I don't know. I just know that they should have gave him more play in The Amazing Spider-Man as the Rhino.
Oscar nomination for Oppenheimer. Despite taking a hiatus from acting in 2023, Blunt had a very successful year. She had already put in the hours for the blockbuster biopic Oppenheimer, which was released that July. The result was one of her most acclaimed performances to date. Blunt portrayed Kitty Oppenheimer, the wife of scientist J. Robert Oppenheimer, played by Cillian Murphy, as he directed the creation of the atomic bomb. She earned her 7th Golden Globe nod and notched a major career first.
You know what the most unbelievable part of that movie is? That Cillian Murphy's character cheated on Emily Blunt's character with Florence Pugh's character. Like, don't get me wrong, Florence Pugh is an attractive young lady, but Emily Blunt, dude, that's your wife, and you're fucking around with Florence Pugh's character? Like, I don't believe that. I can't believe it.
Spoilers.
It's everywhere.
Spoilers.
I'm just saying. I like Florence Pugh's bangable, but not Emily Blunt, dude.
Man, you are one
Demoniac.
pathetic
Have
loser.
you seen it?
Fuck you.
Huh?
Have you seen it, Oppenheimer?
No.
I haven't seen it yet, but I know a lot about the movie.
No, I was just saying
I
that's
barely
probably
know
what you're
anything.
thinking of the other guy.
Oh, I thought you were talking about me. I'm like, come on, man.
What a dick move.
Dick.
Guilty conscience much?
No.
An Academy Award nomination. The first Oscar nominee learned she was competing in the Best Supporting Actress race while walking her dog with her husband. I did have a brief cry in the middle of Brooklyn, brief weep directly after picking up my dog's poop. The actor also appeared in the Netflix movie Pain Hustlers about the opioid epidemic. However, the movie was markedly less successful than Oppenheimer. It's a Netflix
Nobody
movie.
watched it. Yeah, it was on Netflix.
I never even heard of it.
Anything goes to Netflix, you're like, probably not going to be good.
Blunt and Krasinski wed in 2010 and have 2 daughters. Hazel was born in 2014, followed by Violet in 2016. Blunt and Krasinski also have enjoyed a professional relationship in A Quiet Place, in which they played an on-screen couple. Krasinski directed both movies in the series. Before her marriage, Blunt was in a relationship with Canadian singer Michael Bublé. That's kind of weird.
Mhm.
They met in 2005 and began dating. She appeared in the song Me and Mrs. Jones in the Bublé 2007 album Call Me Irresponsible before the couple split in 2008. That's
I mean,
Emily Blunt.
the way you feel about towards Emily Blunt, I feel towards Anna Kendrick. So,
I mean, I feel the same way about Anna Kendrick. What are you
I
talking
mean-
about? And they were both in Into the Woods.
yeah.
Okay. Which one? Emily Blunt or Anna Kendrick?
Oof.
Ooh.
I mean, I get it for
Ouch.
Anna Kendrick, but that's just me.
I think I'm going to go with Kendrick too, honestly,
Good choice.
because she's nerdier, kind of quirky,
Yeah.
and I like that. And
Some eyes.
she's sexy though, yeah. Yeah, but then again, Emily Blunt's more a woman. You know what I mean? She's like more of a. She comes off as more of a woman. You know what I mean?
Worldly.
But then again, I like the quirky thing. I think that's more attractive, and I think that's more fun. I'm gonna go Anna Kendrick. Yeah, I think so.
She'd be more fun.
Yeah, she'd be more fun to hang out with, even just.
I was gonna say, I think you'd get really tired of her though. After a while, I'd be like, "Oh my god,
No, because I'm sure-
quirky. Can we
Yeah.
do the longer,
No, because she
please?"
comes off as she still has like serious moments.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
fair
She's not always like that.
That's fair.
Like if it was somebody like who's quirky all the time, like no, that's annoying. Take it back. You know what I mean?
Can we just do the laundry, please?
Yeah, can we just do the laundry? You don't have to think everything's a fucking quirky joke, all right? You don't have to be witty all the time. God, you're really on my fucking nerves right now.
Throw a fucking flour tortilla at the face.
Shut up! Shut up, woman! I will beat you with a loaf of bread.
Come and see.
You see a fucking loaf of bread out of nowhere just flying out through the kitchen.
No, I'm
Smack!
saying like one of those French loaves, you know?
Yeah, it doesn't
flying
leave
through the
bruises or
room.
Like a
nothing. You know?
baguette.
Yeah,
Yeah,
fucking
baguette
baguette.
is like flying through the room.
Some fucking French bread just right to the face. Like, shut the fuck up.
Frozen one at that.
Yeah, oh my god.
Piece of French toast, just.
Yeah. All right, favorite Emily Blunt movie? Go.
Sicario.
Sicario, okay.
Sicario.
Mine's gotta be this.
Sicario. Huh?
Quiet Place has got my
Quiet
movie.
Place.
This is
Sicario.
Sicario.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot more movies of hers. I'm gonna go. It's a toss up between Into the Woods and Edge of Tomorrow because they're both great fucking movies. She's a badass in Edge of Tomorrow, but
You talk more about it. Into the Woods.
Into the Woods is a great musical, and but she's not like the main role. She's just one of the roles.
He's
in the
only
movie.
picking the woods because Anna Kendrick ain't her in it.
That is a good point, though. That is also a very good point. But see, the downfall of that movie is it also has James Corden in it, and I don't like that fucking guy. So he's up
That
there.
is a fair
He's
point.
almost up there with like Drew Barrymore and shit. I really just don't like him. Along with like he's up there with Jimmy
Is
Kimmel.
it his face?
I don't like him and Jim. No, it's just him. I don't like him.
You know what we should do? We should put a dartboard up with like little pictures of people we can't stand.
We should just like, all right, you see this guy right here? He's a fuckwad. You'll never see a creator profile for him because he's a fuckwad.
Yeah, we could put it the wall of fuckwads.
Wall of fuckwads.
Mm-hmm.
Wall of fuckwads. That rhymes. That sounds good to get. It doesn't rhyme, but it sounds good. Wall of fuckwads.
Yeah.
All right. That was Emily Blunt. Let's move on here. What'd you guys watch this week?
What the hell have you been watching?
Mm-hmm.
Let's start with. You guys don't know, do you?
I got like a few of them. It's not all of them.
Do you remember some of them?
I know one.
Which one?
Everybody's favorite rapey pirate. Don't know how to have sex. Softcore porn. 1973 French.
Whatever the fuck.
The Demoniacs.
What's it called?
The Demoniacs.
The fuck is that?
It's exactly what I just fucking said.
Here, I'll read
Listen
the
to this.
synopsis. So, I have like all these blogs that I check
I'm
out.
lost just as much as you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
It's a
check out all
rapey
these.
softcore porn, apparently.
Yeah, I check out all these.
Did Jack watch it with you?
No. No, we knew what we were getting ourselves into.
Yeah, it's on one of her lists.
Yeah, it's on.
Is it still on your list?
No, we watched it, so it comes off. I gotta.
But I'll
find
tell
it.
you this: it was so amazing. As soon as the credits rolled, I bought it.
Well, it must have came out. It must have gotten deleted. I have a timer on here to get rid of stuff after I've deleted it, so it must have came off.
So just
Hold on.
explain to us in layman terms what.
No, it was really funny to hear the actual
synopsis.
the synopsis that it had on here. So I have like these blogs that I check out, and different people that write different articles or whatever, and one of them had the Demoniacs on it, and they wrote like why you should watch it or whatever, and the synopsis they wrote for it just made it sound like it was completely insane. So, of course, I had to check it out just in general because I was like, this sounds way off the wall. But basically, it said like it was about
A band of pirates.
a band of pirate or no, it
Shipwreck.
didn't say pirates. It said these two girls it's a rape revenge flick about these two girls who are attacked by criminals. Didn't say pirates, it said criminals. Who are then helped by a clown and the devil.
Yeah, this bitch straight
Who
walks out of this archway like looking like Ronald McDonald.
no joke. No joke. She
How
looks
old
like
is this movie?
Ronald McDonald.
73, I think.
73.
Oh, 73?
Yeah.
If you'd have told me it was like from 2 years ago, I'd be like, I believe that.
No, it was
Wow.
it was literally like looked like Ronald McDonald. This clown come out
Right.
and they are like in a castle with this guy who's like the devil, and then the devil has to help them.
Oh, 74.
The devil has to help them get their revenge. That was basically the synopsis I read, and I was like, "Yep, sign me
But there's
up."
a lot of nudity in it and shit.
Oh my god!
Yeah, like they're slapping skins like all the
Yeah,
time.
one of the things it said is like one of the things you can check out is like which one of the terrible sex scenes is your favorite. So I was like, that sounds intriguing as well, and they were every bit
Wow.
like that. None of the people in that movie knew how to sex.
Knew how to sex.
None of them.
Yeah, it was
Not
just
one
a
of them.
bunch like wiener dragging and like humping. You can clearly see there was no penetration. And at one point, the old pirate guy and his on again, off again woman.
What the fuck?
Well, we're like scissoring at one point, and you can see like old man dick just like resting on her leg as he's like humping her and shit. It's fucking weird, dude.
It was insane.
What the fuck?
It was insane.
I have no interest in this movie.
It was
terrible.
literally just the synopsis talking about a clown and the devil, and I
You're
was
like, all right,
like,
that sounds
what?
cool. And then you're like, wait, why is he dragging his dick across
Yeah,
the
pretty
leg?
much. It was like, well, this is
This is different.
what?
Oh, there was like 3 cuts of the movie too.
Yeah.
A theatrical cut. Like how you do that? I want to watch it.
Right.
So
Especially,
you guys just sit there and watch a movie like this the whole time?
No.
No, when the clown came out, we were like, holy shit.
you guys were drinking, right?
Sure. Yeah,
Were you drinking?
he was.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm just saying. I think it sounds like it'd be a lot more fun if you were drunk.
Well, see, and that's the thing. Like even at the end, like the clown and some other fucking guy, like
Oh, yeah,
he was like
he
a
was-
wizard or something.
he
And he
was.
fucking, like-
yeah, there's like a wizard.
They end up getting killed, but
Then they
like-
came back.
yeah, they're like, oh, these
The girls,
two,
instead of using their powers
Powers.
for revenge, they used it to bring back
And
the
then just
clown and the
everybody
the
fucking
wizard
died
guy
in the
from
end.
dying.
Okay, moving on.
You guys are trying to make my damn head hurt.
Right. It's
You
like
should
it's like
watch
they
it.
had like 4 different movie ideas. Let's throw them all into one.
Uh-huh. Yeah, basically.
So-
We still got 2 different cuts of the movie to watch.
Like
Oh
Adam
my
Sandler
God.
describing to his girl from Big Daddy, old balls and loose skin. I mean, this is all I'm getting right now.
Oh, and there was a psychic prostitute.
Oh yeah, she fucking knew everything.
Psychic
She didn't do. And you know how many fucking glasses of beer they
Was the
smashed in
glass
that
ball
movie?
her tits? I mean, I'm
Every
just
time
curious.
that-
No,
The
she
one
just
older
she
fire
was
got
like
mad,
just
he just
she
She
just
just
had
it.
rubbing her tits going, you mo guy guy
Like,
vite
that
out.
would that would have been more hilarious, but no, she didn't.
Oh my God. All right, what else did you watch?
Wow.
Family
Oh my God.
Guy, Mad Men, and Hello Mary Lou Prom Night 2. That's the only ones I can remember. We watched more than that, but that's all I can remember.
All right, Eric, what'd you watch this week, man? Please tell me you didn't watch some fucking revenge.
Nothing off the wall
Softcore
that bad, but we did watch.
Nothing. Nobody ever can top us on the off the
No.
wall.
Never. Yeah.
We watched Little Rascals with the kids.
It's great.
I love that you come out with this like pirate softcore porn from '74, and he's like, "We watched Little Rascals."
Yeah,
With
I'm
kids.
going like
Like,
Family
I'm over here
stuff
like
here.
I didn't watch anything like that shit.
I went with family stuff here. Black Sails, watched some more of that stuff.
Pirates.
Pirate stuff.
Pirates.
That, I mean, Black Sails is pretty. I mean, you don't want to watch that with the kids. It's pretty.
Pirates.
It's pretty bad. There's some rape scenes in that show.
Yeah, well, it's no different than like Vikings and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, and the
Did you
trans.
see flaccid penis on somebody's leg?
No,
Not nearly as
dragging,
cool.
Like
no.
slaps that
Poor
motherfucker.
Joseph, he's like,
I'm just you did that. I'm like I pictured that in my head. I'm like, yeah, yep, I know what that looks like.
Automatically already knows how that scene goes.
he got the mental image in that.
It's exactly what just like it was even a close up too of just like a dick sliding across someone's leg. Like
Well,
That's
you just got
great.
the image of just
That's what it is, too. It's just
exactly what it
a
is.
flaccid, wet, slimy. Just,
No, there was no penetration, so dry.
oh, it was
It
just
was
dry.
dry.
Even better. So it didn't slide then, it kind of skipped along because there was nothing to help it glide.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
just-
Like,
Yeah, it wasn't nearly as smooth.
yeah, it
as
wasn't
this.
smooth. It was like. I'm picturing all this in my head. We're painting a very good visual for
for you,
everybody.
for you too.
Yeah.
Did one. Did two.
Yeah.
Oh fuck! I messed up. Got to restart.
Did
Is that how you watched, Eric?
No,
I think he was gonna say something about Transformers.
no, the transporter.
Oh, Transformers.
Oh, I heard trans, and I'm like, transsexual?
No, I
Let's
don't.
keep with the
I don't
theme
go
here.
that far.
Let's keep with the theme here.
Yeah.
The transporter.
Transsexual pirates.
John Wick Chapter 4.
First time you seen it?
No.
No.
I just seen it on there and I just decided to watch it.
Yeah, let's watch that one.
Yeah, because I didn't see the other one, so I was like, I'm just in the mood for some John Wick. Why not that one?
I think I might be the only one that's got new movies to tell everybody.
You better not tell me anything about the Deadpool movie because I will jump across this table. Avengers: Age of Ultron. That's all I got. Oh, and some more of that Rust Rich's TV show. That's
Oh, did you see Robert Downey Jr.?
yeah. He came out. It's going to become.
That is so fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Let me
why?
voice my opinion on this for one.
Yes. Go ahead, because I've got.
Because
my
I
voice
love
on this,
Robert
too.
Downey Jr. I think he's a great actor. I love
I
him.
think he could do it
But
too.
he did
but
his job
why?
in the MCU, man. You guys are just trying to do something to pull people back in because you're losing fans. Because your shit is garbage now.
Wasn't that Deadpool and Wolverine's job? Weren't they supposed to start the?
And they are, I think they did a great job.
Yes.
To be honest with
Yeah,
you.
they were supposed to redo it.
Yeah. So the whole Robert Downey Jr. playing fucking Doctor Doom is really frustrating for me because there are so many good actors out there that can play Doctor Doom. And he's such a pivotal role in the MCU. Like, why are you going to hand it to somebody who was already in the MCU as a major fucking character? Like, if he was like, if Robert Downey Jr. was like someone's butler for 10 minutes in a fucking movie, one of the movies, okay, fine. Yeah, give him a bigger role. That's fine. But he played Iron Man in, I don't know, what, 3 Iron Man movies, 2 Avengers movies, plus every other fucking movie that he made an appearance in the MCU. He made millions and millions of dollars off of this. All you're doing is handing him more money and more bullshit when there's other good actors out there. I can name a few. As a matter of fact, I know a couple of them that were up in the running. One of them, which one was it? There was a really good one they had in mind for Doctor Doom, and I was like, I am on board with that guy. And he had never been in the MCU. There are so many good actors that could play that fucking role, man. And I'm really disappointed with their choice to go with. For one, he's not tall. He's not tall at all. He's only like,
Yeah.
what, 5'8"? Dr. Doom is a tall dude. And he's not intimidating to me. You know what I mean? I want a big, kind of bigger dude, more intimidating. I don't know. I'm not
I think
good
the
with
only
it.
reason why they did Robert Downey Jr. is because he's got them very snappy comebacks.
Okay, that's fine, but Dr. Doom's not a snappy, witty dude. He's smart. He's intelligent. You know, he's an intelligent guy. He's not over here throwing fucking witty one-liners at
Yeah, he's
people.
not doing one-liners.
Yeah, that's just not Dr. Doom.
That's Tony Stark.
Yeah, that's Tony Stark. Anyway, that's what I think about it. I don't think that he has any. I think he should stay retired. That's what I think. But that's my opinion. That's my opinion. Some people are excited that he's back. I think it's stupid.
And it's just like I seen that they brought Chris Evans back as the Flame.
Human Torch?
You know, yeah, Human Torch.
Yeah.
How they
You weren't
going
supposed to know that unless you watched the movie.
I seen clips.
Stay off the internet, man.
That's what pissed me off.
That's
But
why I went and watched it when I
I
went and
seen
watched
clips. But anyways, I seen clips that they
Huh?
brought him back as the Human Torch.
it. They did.
Thanks a lot,
And-
Dick.
I know, he ruined it. I wasn't going to say anything.
There's clips all over it.
Yeah, and we
Clips all
don't watch
over
that
it.
shit on purpose.
Anyway,
Anyways,
so
dick move,
my
bro.
turn to talk about what I watched.
so how are they going to do that? Here's my question: how the fuck are they going to do that when he's already playing Captain?
They're probably just going to keep a mask on him, to be honest with you. They'll probably just keep a mask on him. You probably won't see his face much, and that'll be that. They're gonna try their best to make him look different and all that, but it's garbage to me. I don't agree with it at all. So they've got some good people coming in though. Like they have a good cast coming in for the Fantastic Four. I'm really happy. They got Pedro Pascal to play Mr. Fantastic, which I'm happy about.
Yeah, I seen that.
There's a few people in there.
This is like the 8th time, so like the 8th time's the charm
Yeah.
for the Fantastic
Joseph
Four.
Quinn is going to be playing the Human Torch. He was in the new. He's in Stranger Things. He played Eddie. So I'm pretty happy about what they got going on. So coming up, but we'll see. Anyway, I've been watching Dragon Ball with Jackson. We're into like episode 40 something or another. I watched some more. It's Always Sunny.
Did you make it to the reunion episode yet?
I don't think so. Also, I watched the whole new season, everything that came out for Cobra Kai. I'm ready for them to end that show. It's just so fucking cheesy. But I will say that this season so far has been the best season so far.
I stopped at season 2.
This season right now is really good. Like, it started out super fucking cheesy, and I was like, fuck, here we go. But by the end of this 5 episodes, because they've only got 5 episodes out right now, by the end of that, I was like, dude, shit's getting fucking deep. You know what I mean? So it's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. And then we watched the new Bad Boys movie. Bad Boys Ride or Die. That is a good fucking movie. That's a good action flick. I will say that's better than the last one. The last one,
I like the last one.
It was. I mean,
It
but
was
yeah,
good, but I mean,
it was kind of
wasn't-
had that kind of like campy,
Mhm.
getting kind of
You're reaching
shitty.
now.
Yeah, reaching.
Yeah.
This one was better than that one. If I had to go in order of favorites, definitely the first one is my favorite. The
I'd
first
say
one's
that
amazing.
too.
I feel like anytime they have to enter like a kid you didn't know about storyline,
Right.
it's like, nah,
See, now there's that, and then the second one's my second favorite, and then it would probably be this one, and then the third one.
I'd probably go 2, 1, 3, 4 because I haven't seen it.
Right. First one's my favorite just because it's nostalgic for me. I love it. But the movie itself is really good. There's still like it's getting into the territory of like I wouldn't say Fast and Furious territory where shit's getting a little ridiculous. It's not there, but it's still like, all right, really though.
How
You
many
know
more
what I mean?
movies until they go into space?
Yeah, right, yeah. So and I'm
Karate in
glad
space.
but yeah, it's a good movie though. I would suggest watching it. It's really fun. And Martin Lawrence fucking kills it, dude. He is so like he wasn't as funny in the last one. In this one, he's fucking hilarious through his whole fucking movie because he has like a near death experience, and he's like all he wants is candy through the whole movie. So like, but he's on this like whole like you remember how paranoid he was of dying and shit before. He's like, I can't die. And then he's like, all he wants to do is eat like he loves Skittles. And Snickers, and he just wants to eat junk food, and which is what got him in the situation in the first place, where he had a fucking like went into cardiac arrest or whatever. But it's a really good movie. I really
Goes off on his son-in-law.
huh?
He's going off on his son-in-law.
Yeah, dude. There's a scene with his son-in-law. He's a badass. That dude's a badass.
His son-in-law.
Yeah.
Reggie.
Right, Reggie. At the end, they're like, dude, you can't fuck with Reggie. He killed like 15 people. I'm just saying. He's a badass. But it's a really good movie. I would definitely suggest watching that one. Then we watched the new Quiet Place movie, Day One.
Day One.
Number 2.
It was really good. I liked it. The main protagonist in the movie is what's her name? Lupita.
Oh yeah.
I think that's her name.
I can't remember her last name.
I can't remember her last name, but she did really good in it. And Joseph Quinn was in it too. And I thought it was a really good movie. I liked the different setting of being in New York City and shit like that. Like that was pretty cool. I really enjoyed that.
a lot harder to get away from something like that when you're in a city.
Yeah, well, in this, it was kind of cool to see it because you've seen it, in the woods, on a farm, all that shit. But like watching this one, and then I watched it because I watched it before I watched this one, the first one. And I watched it, and then I watched the first one, and it helped me appreciate the first one a lot more too. Because it's not as good as the first one. But it's still pretty damn good. You know what I mean? They had a lot. It just goes to show that this franchise still has a lot of fresh ideas, and I like that. It's a good thing. So it's kind of like the Alien franchise. Like, yeah, it's had a few skips and a few misses, but like for the most part, it still has like fresh ideas for it, and that's good. You don't get that out of a lot of horror movie franchises.
No.
And then we obviously went and watched Deadpool and Wolverine at the theater on the night it came out. And dude, that's the best one of the three. That is the best one. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care. Everybody's like, it's better than the first one. It's way better than the first one. It's got a bigger budget. It's more fun. The banter between Deadpool and Wolverine's amazing.
So
It's
they
what you
actually
wanted.
have all the X-Men show it. I'm just kidding. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. I don't want to know a damn
I'm not
thing.
gonna say anything.
We want to go see it on Friday.
You're not gonna be disappointed. It's a fucking
No, I
fun
don't-
movie.
I don't
It
expect
is a
I will
really
be.
the opening scene is
Just-
amazing.
It just hit 500 million.
I'm telling you, dude. It's
Yeah.
gonna. It might. It's gonna hold. I think it's gonna hit a few records. It's such a good fucking movie, though. We were the whole time, like me and Madison especially, were just giggling. Like the opening scene. I'm gonna give away the opening. Like
No.
it's just bye by NSYNC. It's fucking
Me
great.
and Kendra, we went to.
It's fucking great.
So we went to the fair Friday, and like we went back to get Penny, and we went and did some running after that. And me and Kendra was like, "Well, let's run to Pickle real quick, grab some popcorn before we head back home because we're gonna."
I love movie theater popcorn.
That's what
my
we do.
favorite
We go
part.
by and we get that big bag of popcorn
Mhm.
from the movie theater. We take it back, watch movies with the kids and stuff like that. So we go in there, and literally the Deadpool and Wolverine movie just started. I looked at Kendra like,
Yeah,
I started.
I might have been there.
I started grunting.
What
getting
time was
pissed.
it?
It's like around 8:30.
That might have. I was there at the 7:30 showing.
Yeah.
So we were in the theater while you were. Was it Thursday?
Yeah, no, it's Friday.
Oh yeah. we were
I was sitting there
Thursday.
grunting and like
That'd been
getting
funny.
pissed off. I'm like, she's like,
Yeah,
what?
it's
I was
so
like, the
good.
fucking movie's playing. I want to
Yeah,
watch it.
well, I even bought the. I was gonna bring it down actually and put it.
the Wolverine
I
bucket.
bought the Wolverine bucket.
Kendra's
The helmet. The
Kendra
head.
ordered that Deadpool like what is it, the like car seat looking one.
Oh, the one with baby Deadpool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
She ordered that one. It's gonna be
So that
here
one's
in November.
that one is one of the more expensive ones.
Yes.
And then there's another one. There's that Deadpool head or whatever, Deadhead,
Yeah,
and it's just like because he's like a floating skull with like just part of the Deadpool mask. That's one of them. The only one that they have at Cinemark though is the Wolverine one that I saw.
yeah.
They got the regular Deadpool head, and then they've got the car, which is the taxi car with Deadpool on top. And then, which I thought was dumb, it should have been a Honda Odyssey because the Honda Odyssey plays a big part in the movie too. It's funny. And then there's another one that I can't remember, but yeah, I don't know, man.
It's only sold by Regal Theaters.
Yeah, Regal Theaters is the only one that sells that one. But I'm telling you, you guys are gonna have fun watching that. It's a lot of fun, and I don't want to give anything away because there are so many fucking cameos in the
Yeah.
movie that you're like, and some of them you're like, because like they did a really good job of hiding some of them, and a couple of them was like, yes, you know what I mean, like one of those things. So I was really happy. I can't wait for you guys to watch it so we can talk about it. But yeah, it was such a good fucking movie. If I had to rank that one in terms of like favorite superhero movies, that's going to be up there in probably like my top 5 or 10 easily. So, and I don't have a lot of favorite superhero movies. Like they're very very particular superhero movies.
Oh yeah, man. Deadpool's movies are so far.
Yeah,
my
I mean,
favorite.
just the fighting and the bantering between him and
Yeah.
Wolverine is the best. Like that's what you live for. Like that shit right there was great. And then whenever he finally puts on the mask, like Wolverine does, it's just like that was sick as fuck. Like that's all I wanted was to see him in the
the actual
blue and yellow suit, man. And that's just he wears it through the whole fucking movie. So I'm happy. I was happy. If I had to rank it, I'd give it a 8.5, 8.5 or a 9. I
Post
think-
credit scene.
What did I think?
Is there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, nobody even got up whenever the credits started rolling.
I
Crystal's
figured
always
as
ready to
much.
go. She's like, "Come on!" I'm like, "Fuck, are you dumb? Like, come on, this is a Marvel,
Marvel.
movie. It's a superhero. There's a post-credit scene, and it's a Deadpool movie. Those are the best
Where
ones.
are you going?
There's no big reveals. They're just fun to watch." But yeah. Anyway, sorry, we're really
going
diving into it there. But yeah, the Deadpool movie's the shit, dude. The shit.
Shit.
I think that's all I watched this week. I was thinking there was one more movie. I might be wrong. I think I am wrong. Yeah, I don't think that's it. I think that's it. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into our movie.
Let's talk about the movie.
This week.
Here's what the synopsis.
You got the plot synopsis?
Yeah.
Come on. Let's go.
Let's go.
A family is forced to live in silence while hiding from creatures that hunt by sound. 1 hour and 30 minutes.
That's a quick synopsis.
Yeah, that's all.
That's literally
The plot.
That's all you need.
That's all you need.
Emily Blunt as Evelyn Abbott, John Krasinski as Lee Abbott, Millicent Simmons as Reagan Abbott, Noah Jupe, Marcus Abbott. That's as far as I'm going, because, yeah. There we are.
Alrighty. I'm going to go ahead and read the plot here, and this is a long one, so sit tight, kids.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a pretty long one. Whenever I got to swipe twice to get through the whole thing, it's a lot. All right, so the movie starts out day 89. What are we doing? We need to, would you watch, would you recommend? I'm sorry, I'm jumping ahead here. Jeremiah, would you watch and rewatch and would you recommend?
Yes and yes.
I agree. Yes and yes. This is a good fucking movie, and it's something original. Whenever it came out, we were like, oh, an original horror movie.
Mm-hmm.
I agree, so yes and yes.
Agreed, yes, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
All in agreement.
That was a pretty hefty recommend. All right, so day 89. Most of Earth's human population has been wiped out by sightless extraterrestrial creatures, which are with hypersensitive hearing, boasting considerable size, speed, and seemingly impenetrable armored shell. They use their auditory acuity.
Yeah, does it explain how where they came from?
Acuity?
I don't think so.
Acuity? Is that a word?
Acuity?
Acuity? A-C-U-I-T-Y?
Yeah, acuity.
Acuity.
All right. Acuity, thank you. To locate and attack anything that makes any noise. The Abbott family, consisting of Lee, Evelyn, Marcus, Bo, and Reagan, silently scavenge for supplies while communicating non-verbally through American Sign Language, ASL. Bo reaches for a toy shuttle sitting on a shelf. However, it is just beyond his reach. It nearly comes crashing to the ground, but Reagan makes a last-minute catch, preventing any noise. Lee arrives and tells Bo to find his mom. Lee returns with some items that'll hopefully boost the signals on their radio. He and Reagan are joined by Evelyn and Marcus. Bo, Jesus Christ, they're really going into detail about every move they make in this movie. Bo joins them with the toy shuttle in hand. Lee slowly approaches and removes the batteries from the toy, leaving both the shuttle and the batteries on the counter as they exit the store and return home before it gets too dark. However, on their way out, Reagan returns the shuttle to Bo without the batteries. Bo manages to retrieve the batteries on his own and insert them into the toy shuttle as they're crossing the bridge. The toy begins to sound, attracting the nearby creatures. However, with Reagan being deaf, she cannot hear. Lee places Marcus on the ground and rushes to Bo, but is too slow, really? That's the way you want to put it?
Shit.
Too
It was his fault because he was too slow.
too slow, and Bo is killed by the creature. So that's a great opening to the movie because it
was.
lets you kind of know what you're in for and that these animals are
It gives
relentless.
you everything you need to know.
Exactly. Everything you need to know in like less than 5 minutes for the entire movie. Stay quiet. Don't make any sounds.
All without uttering a word.
Yeah, exactly. And it really goes to show, and it shows how brutal the creatures themselves are, that they have no remorse. They're just mindless killing machines. That's it. And it kind of sets up like a lot of story to be told between the parents, the kids, everything, and how they react to everything now, and how the relationship is somewhat strained.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Especially
between Reagan and the dad.
Yeah, exactly. Not to mention, I love watching kids die because it shows me that they don't give a fuck in a movie. They don't give a fuck. I'm not saying that I love to watch kids die in real life.
I was gonna say, like, you just
I'm
went
saying
with that, huh?
that,
You
like,
just
it's
went
nice,
out the.
it's refreshing to see something like that in a movie because you're like, holy shit, this movie is that kind of movie where
No, I get
they
what
give
you were
no
saying. I
fucks.
just had to,
You know what I mean?
I had
Yeah,
to go.
It's the way to
Uh,
get the emotion out of the
Yeah, no, it's definitely one of those things that you don't see happen very often in movies.
Yeah.
So when they do it, you know.
usually the kids and animals are usually the safe ones.
Yeah, and when they do it, you know that this movie is going to be one of those movies. It's like, oh shit, you got my attention. Okay.
Yep. All right, days. So this is remember that was day 89. This
Mhm.
now we jump forward in time, probably like a year to day
400 and something.
472. Evelyn approaches Reagan as she lies in the field of their farm and walks her back to the house. Lee monitors them and the entire farm through a surveillance system he installed. He's also made notes of the creature's blindness, armor, and attraction to sound, as well as confirmed at least three in their immediate vicinity. Lee then proceeds to turn on the radio and send SOS signals through Morse code, though there is no response. Marcus pretends to drive the broke down truck sitting in the fields. He looks in the rear view mirror and sees his father approaching. Lee calls him over and sends him home where a pregnant Evelyn awaits, because that's the smartest thing to do, is have a child during an alien apocalypse where everything is based on sound.
Do you think they planned it?
No, I don't think they planned it, but so he must. The first thing I thought is he must not be that good in bed because she didn't make any noise while they were banging, like not a peep.
I'm pretty sure if they can keep quiet, like when things are happening, you can keep quiet during sex too. Like when you should
Nah.
scream, like she's like literally
No,
giving
I'm
birth.
gonna
And she
if
keeps her mouth
if that ever
closed.
happens with me and Emily Blunt, I need her curls to toe or toes to curl.
Curls to toe.
Curls to toe. Yep, that's right. Need to curl up and suck them toes.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry,
I'm just saying, I don't think that they planned to have a kid.
I know.
I'm sure they didn't sit down and go, you know what? This is a great time to have
It's a great
baby.
time to have a kid. Nobody's around.
It's
You know,
quiet.
obviously the economy
It's so
has gotten
quiet
much
right
cheaper.
now. Yeah,
You know,
the economy's
things are
great.
Yeah, like there's plenty
That's
of
some slow motion going on. I'm sorry.
All right. Lee calls him over and says blah 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 blah. Lee then gets on top of Emily Blunt. Yeah, I'm just kidding. Lee then gets on top of one of the silos and looks through a memory box dedicated to Bo. Back in the barn, Evelyn prepares for the for the arrival of their child, and Marcus and Reagan plaster the walls with newspaper to soundproof the room. As the sun goes down, Lee sets a fire on top of the silo to signal the other nearby residences, who in turn do the same. While preparing dinner, Evelyn sends Reagan to alert Lee. She is reluctant, but obeys her mother's wishes. That night, Lee, Evan, Reagan, and Marcus gather around the dinner table, take each other's hands in prayer, and eat. After dinner, Reagan and Marcus play a game of Monopoly. In all the excitement, Marcus accidentally knocks over the oil lamp and causes a small fire that is quickly extinguished by Lee. However, they are reluctant to breathe a sigh of relief as the noise seemingly draws the creatures to their home. Something is crawling on the roof. Lee looks out the window. Fortunately, it is only a couple of raccoons. Evelyn joins Lee as he's working on an amplified hearing aid for Reagan. She drags him away from his work and the couple proceed to dance while listening to The Harvest Moon by Neil Young.
Question. So these creatures, are they only drawn to human noises?
No.
So when those raccoons made a noise, they didn't come.
That's a good point. Well, they did. They did. Because remember the part where they killed the one, took him?
Yeah.
Whenever he was walking across back away from the barn.
Okay.
So they did kill. I know they killed one because I know whenever it was walking, and
They
like,
grabbed it.
They grabbed it.
It's just strange though that there's so much animal life still existing.
That is weird to me because like they don't know any better. to me.
Right. Like,
But for the most part, though, most animals are pretty silent. You know what I mean? Especially raccoons.
not really though, because birds, they like, they make noises. Like squirrels.
Birds have a greater advantage. I mean, they're in the sky.
Sure, but like, squirrels, they make like those scritching noises
Mhm.
and like, you know what I mean? Like there's just a lot of animal
Yeah.
life.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I
To-
mean,
Yeah. That's just one of the problems I had.
I think my biggest
It's
issue
not a
with
huge problem.
I think my biggest issue with this whole series is in fact the monsters because they literally attack anything with sound. But my problem is like, I don't care how much so you can only hear. How do you move without running directly into shit? Like they're running through the woods, like just darting through the woods. Like how do they not run into a tree? Or
Well, bats do that. Bats use sonar to
sonar, yes.
That's
But they're
what-
not using sonar as they move. They're just running.
Well, wouldn't they be using sound frequencies like sonar? Wouldn't they be using something like that?
I don't know. I mean, granted, they don't explain it, but
No.
you would think
I would
like a bat
assume-
makes constant noise. They are always chirping. They chirp.
I would
They make
assume that
noise
they would use.
to deflect noise to deflect sound off of.
They made
things.
noises.
I'm sure when they're running, the pounding of the
Maybe.
You know
I'm
what I
just
mean?
saying, like I would assume that they would use something similar since their noise, like since they're not.
They move really freely, though, is what I'm
Mhm.
saying, though, for something that can only hear, not see.
They would have to have some kind of
sonar.
navigating system like bats,
Right.
something like that.
That the only time they can hear really good is whenever they lift their things up
Mhm.
and they listen.
My biggest problem with the whole thing is, and maybe I'm giving humanity too much credit here, but like you're telling me out of all of
That's another thing. If they can use sonar, why can't they detect people through sonar?
That's a good question. That is a good question. But my problem is like, okay, so you're telling me that out of all of these smart people we have in humanity, like scientists and just geniuses and all of these people, right?
Never thought to use the.
And they never
High
thought,
frequency?
okay, but they're never,
Yeah.
no, they're telling me, you're telling me that, because even me, I'm not very smart, but you're telling me that, like, the first thing I'm thinking of is, oh my gosh, they have crazy hearing, so let's throw some feedback at them. It's really loud and it bothers my
Exactly.
ears.
That's my thing, too. Like, you're telling me that the first thing they didn't think of is, okay, these guys are crazy good at hearing.
Let's use that against
Why
them.
wouldn't they use high frequencies to begin
That's
with?
what I'm
Like,
saying.
it fucks with dogs.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean? Like, dogs hate high frequency noises.
The monsters killed the smart people first.
Apparently. But I mean, no. Because even the dad is over here working on a hearing aid, and he's like, they have really good hearing. What's their weakness? Their fucking hearing.
Mhm.
That's their weakness.
He didn't have the high smart gene yet.
Like, just think about it. If you could smell really good, what's going to bother you the most? Things that smell bad. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like dog shit,
See,
fucking
that's
rotting food, vomit. Those things are going to
That's
bother
exactly what I'm
somebody who
saying.
can, somebody who can smell really well.
That's exactly what I'm saying. And like I said, I'm not trying to poke holes out of every little thing, but that
Right.
to me is the glaring,
That's the biggest issue.
Hole
I
in
100%
this.
agree, dude.
you know.
That is the biggest problem right there. Like, you're telling me that these things attacked, and the first thing you didn't think was they have really good hearing. We should probably figure out
use that to our
use
advantage.
that to our advantage. Like, and maybe that some of them did, but
No,
but the
because
dad.
because if you look in his room down there, Jeremiah said the same thing. He's like, somebody probably did think of that. Like, no, they didn't, because it literally has like all of those articles he had down there. One of them literally says indestructible.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
nobody thought of this.
Not only even him being a smart, like even if they say they killed off all the smart people, Even him
Hold
being
on.
as smart as he is
It
should have realized
It
this.
says they're indestructible, but yet she blew the head off of one with a shotgun.
because
But
he had
only-
his thing
had
open.
had the
Had his
thing open.
So
Because
he's got like
the
a
feedback
hard
was
shell.
bothering. Yeah, they've got this really hard shell. So I can understand how that would think. They think, oh God, they're indestructible. But you're telling me again that nobody thought, like, throw some really high frequencies at them. It's gonna hurt. And then, oh, that thing opened up. What does that do?
Bang.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, you play video games, for crying out loud. What's the first thing you think of when you're fighting a monster and something opens up? Oh, there's the weak spot. I mean, come on.
Some things in horror movies are just too blatant to be realistic. You know what I mean?
I guess. It's
Some
just-
things are just too obvious to be realistic. Like, okay, nobody thought of this. Like, these aliens wouldn't last a fucking week on our
the
planet.
signs, water.
Yeah,
You know,
signs and
like,
water.
we're-
Exactly. It's a perfect example. Signs and water. Like, okay, so nobody tried to throw water at these fucking things, or like notice that they're staying away from large bodies of
you
water.
can even forgive the rest of the world, but what about those fuckers on that farm where the little girl's leaving water all over the
Yeah.
place, and they're like, "Oh, water." Anyway,
That's why they haven't come in our house yet, because of all the water.
I'm just saying, like, that to me, that is the glaring.
It is a big.
Hole
That is the
in
one
this.
problem that I had with this movie, where I'm like, all right, the one weakness they had should have been obvious from the beginning. You know what I mean?
Because often your biggest like strength can also be a weakness.
Your biggest weakness. Yeah.
Anyways,
Anyway, day 473.
we're like way ahead of it.
The very next day, October 1st, 2021, okay, like that matters. Evelyn takes her blood pressure because she's marking off her due date, is what it was. She's due to give birth in just under 3 weeks on the 20th. She then listens to the baby's beating heart. Reagan makes her way through the house, stepping on the green paint marks on the floor so as not to cause any creaks. Just as she's about to head into the basement, Lee snatches her away. She questions why she can't go down there. He fears that she will make noise and asks her to please stay out of the basement. She then gives her cochlear, which is her hearing device.
Yeah.
Cochlear implant, that for anybody who doesn't know what that is. That he forged from a radio amplifier, but she denies the cochlear implant, insisting that it won't work, that they never work. Still, he places the cochlear implant in her hand and leaves. Evelyn homeschools Marcus. Currently, she's teaching him math. However, the lesson is cut short as Lee alerts Marcus that it's time to go hunting. Marcus is fearful that they will encounter monsters, though Evelyn assures him that his father will always protect him. She explains that it's important for him to learn these things so that he can take care of himself as well as them once they get older. Evelyn sees Lee and Marcus off. However, Marcus wishes to stay, whereas Reagan volunteers to join her father, but Lee insists that Reagan stay behind to help her mother. Lee then kisses Evelyn goodbye and leaves with Marcus. Reagan goes into her room and notices that the cochlear implant her father made sitting on the bed. She turns on the device, but as expected, it does not work. She then begins to pack her book bag with extra clothes and a book, Bo's toy shuttle, and wire cutters. Lee takes Marcus to the river where he's installed homemade fish nets to catch food. Lee loses control of the fish and it flips into the water. Marcus nearly takes off running in fear that the sound will bring the creatures, but Lee explains that the roars of the river contain the smaller sounds. Evelyn climbs up the stairs with a bag of laundry. The sack gets caught on a nail and she struggles to get loose. While she manages to get the sack free, she unknowingly exposes a sharp nail in the staircase. I have a problem with that nail.
I agree.
For one, if you look at the nail where it's placed on the fucking stairs, it makes absolutely no sense.
Agreed.
No sense. It's in the middle of the step. There's no board under it, and it's sticking clear up through the fucking step. Why is it sticking up through the step? It's exactly what it's a completely 100%.
Has
and
no
not-
structure.
There is no structural reason for that nail to be there.
Exactly. Not to mention, the nail itself is directly on one of the paint marks in which they can step to not make a creaking noise on the stairs. That is the biggest fucking plot device I've ever seen in a movie. It is directly in the center of that paint mark. You're telling me that whenever you put them paint marks on...
Step here for pain.
Yeah. I'm thinking, like, so all the times that you've had to step down these steps,
You never felt
you
that,
never
that
felt
flat
that
nail.
fucking flat nail
Yeah.
sit there. You know what I mean?
Bent over
Or
nail.
whenever you got your fucking your bag caught on it, you didn't think, oh, I probably caught that nail. I should probably take a look at that.
And like you can't even say that like, oh, they must have been wearing shoes because they don't wear shoes.
They don't wear shoes ever. They always go barefooted. So that nail really fucking bothers. I know it's a plot device,
No,
100%.
I get it.
but it's the most blatant plot device. You know what I mean? It's like one of those things where you're like, that is unnecessary.
They could have had like a lighted like arrow pointing down like
Yeah.
look at this.
Exactly. That's exactly. But anyway, it's just the nail really bothered me. It really bothered me.
100% agree.
Where was I? All right. Lee takes Marcus just beneath the waterfall where he shouts free of worry of alerting the nearby creatures and promises Marcus that he's safe. Afterward, Marcus asks his father why he didn't allow Reagan to come and if he blames her for Bo's death. Lee insists that he doesn't, but Marcus informs him that Reagan blames herself. Lee explains that it was no one's fault. Marcus asks if his father still loves his sister, which he does. In that case, Marcus advises Lee to tell Reagan that he loves her. Reagan makes her way back to the bridge where Bo died, where her family has staged a grave and memorial. She then takes the shuttle out of her bag, snips the wires that cause the toy to make noise, and places it at his grave. After catching some fish, Lee and Marcus make their way home, where they come across an elderly man standing over what is presumably his wife, who was killed by one of the creatures. Lee pleads with the man to keep quiet. However, the pain is too much to bear, and he lets out a scream. Lee picks up Marcus and takes cover behind a tree as a creature arrives and kills the man, which was probably one of the coolest parts of the movie because it really just like nailed that idea home of what is going on there. And that old man and his pain, and he's like, fuck it, I got no reason to live.
Yeah.
And he just that was his way of suicide right there.
Suicide by creature.
Yeah. And the only thing I didn't like is whenever he like was going to tell the man to be quiet, he pretty much sticks his own finger up his nose. And I'm like, a little aggressive on the shushing. You know what I mean?
Maybe he had a booger in there. He's trying to hide
like,
it. He's trying to hide it behind the fact that he's like,
I'm like, dude, you just, this is all you need. You don't gotta like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, dude, I just thought it was
trying
a little.
to hide his booger.
It was just, I think his acting was a little overboard there. Like, all right, you ain't gotta like.
How dare you?
I thought he was like trying to poke his own eye out, like.
I guess the old man, his pain's going through. I guess the old man's going through a whole lot of pain, but at the same sense,
you don't have to take out others with you.
Yeah, you see a little kid there at the same sense. You're like,
that was exactly
you
my
try to
thoughts.
hold that pain back just a little bit longer. You know what I mean?
That's exactly what he said. Fuck
that
you,
was
kid.
exactly my thought too. But I also think in that scenario, you're not thinking clearly for a lot of reasons. Not just because of that, but also you're thinking about the world that those kids are coming up in, and you kind of probably just feel like,
they're gonna die anyway.
Like, what's the point? I mean, again, I'm not saying one way or the other.
But we also don't know that man personally, or how selfish he may be, or
he might have been the asshole of the neighborhood. You know, he might have been that you get those kids off my fucking lawn guy.
Yeah.
We don't know.
Yeah,
they kick a ball onto his property, and he like fucking You know, I don't know. We don't know.
Um,
Old man Curly's a dick. We don't know.
all right. Suddenly, after spending the day in Beau's old room, crying and reminiscing, Evelyn's water breaks. She makes her way into the basement where she steps on the exposed nail and accidentally drops the glass picture from Beau's room. It shatters and draws the attention of the nearby creatures. After signaling an emergency by changing the exterior house lights to red as a danger signal, Evelyn notices one of the creatures walking around the upstairs. As they arrive home, Lee and Marcus notice the red lights and rush to the farm. See, my biggest thing with, I think, the noise thing with them is so they can hear, no matter how far away, they can hear something like as simple as like dropping
The
a
glass.
picture.
Yeah, the picture falling.
Something, I bet they were probably, I'm going to give them at least a mile. They were probably at least about a mile away, maybe even a half a mile away. They heard that, but they're in the same room with humans and can't hear their heartbeat
Yeah.
or their breathing.
Mm-hmm.
Like they can't hear any of that. Even the most subtle of noises, like they're going to hear that. If they can hear something as small as a simple glass break or something like that from, let's say, a quarter mile to a half a mile away, they're going to be able to hear your heartbeat.
Yeah.
No one is safe in this scenario. Like that's another glaring.
They can easily hear the shuffle of dirt.
That's something
at the
they need
point-
to do
that
on
point.
Mythbusters, man. Prove whether or not if they can hear that from that distance, can you hear a heartbeat?
Well, see, and one thing I was unclear on is like, are they only supersonic hearing when they open up their ears like that, or are they always supersonic hearing? You know what I mean?
See, that's another thing. So even whenever they're in the room with someone and they open up and they're listening, you're telling me they can't hear a heartbeat even then?
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Like, you know what I mean?
exactly. Mhm.
Like, okay, so if they can hear something as simple as dropping a picture frame on the floor from, let's say, a half mile away, they get in the room and they open it up and so they can hear better in the same fucking room as that human being, and they can't hear their heartbeat.
Right.
Your heartbeat is fairly loud.
Oh, yeah.
Actually.
Yeah. Mhm.
You know, hell, your stomach growling is loud. It can be heard from across the room. You know,
Oh,
what I
yeah.
mean? Something like that. Like you're unsafe. Your heartbeat is, you're breathing. You can hear somebody breathe if you listen close enough. So those things just that kind of shit bothered me about this
Can
movie.
you imagine if you farted?
Oh my God. Like,
just one of those.
The church house creeper.
Fuck!
Son of a bitch.
Death by gas.
This is that amount of terror in your eyes, right? When you know. What happened to Jerry? Oh, he shitted himself.
Okay, so as they arrive home, Lee and Marcus notice the red lights and rush to the farm. Evelyn picks up a timer and hides behind the wall as one of the creatures makes their way down into the basement. The timer goes off and Evelyn rushes upstairs while the creature is distracted. But she is forced to flee upstairs after spotting another creature just outside the house. So that's another thing. Why didn't that other creature come in running whenever that alarm went off? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's some plot holes here.
A few.
Where was I? Lee hands Marcus a flashlight and tells him to launch the rocket to lure the creatures away from the house. Evelyn's contractions are getting stronger at the moment. She is forced to lie back in a bathtub and remain calm and quiet while the creatures move throughout the house. Meanwhile, Marcus runs into the field where he sets off the fireworks, the explosions providing a loud enough noise for Evelyn to scream without being heard. Armed with a loaded shotgun, Lee makes his way into the house and follows the trail of blood into the bathroom, where he finds Evelyn living in the shower, or living,
I was going to say, what?
lying in the shower with their newborn baby boy. So whenever he comes into the bathroom and sees the blood in the bathtub,
Just automatically thought she was taken.
yeah, like, okay, so I get his duress, but there was no signs of struggle. There was no, yes, blood in the in the tub, but he didn't see any blood trail aside from that. Like, that's your first thought, is to like pretty much give up and sit down right there and think, oh my God, my wife's dead. Instead of thinking, well, maybe she was smarter than this. Granted, yeah, I guess you see the blood.
You see blood kind of go out the side of the tub. If you really looked at
well, I know that, like,
You do. You see like where she crawled out.
all I know is that scene made Emily Blunt that much more hot because obviously she's hardcore enough to give birth to her own fucking baby. Like, just right there. Sorry, I'm allergic to bullshit. Anyway, sorry. Fuck.
Groovy.
Which part is bullshit? You don't think that she could have, or
No, I do think she is. Yeah, I was just saying words.
Oh, I say women do
Jeremy
that.
was like, yeah, words.
Women do that a lot. Like, give birth naturally.
Well, I'm saying, like, she did it by herself, everything, and then that baby did not look newborn.
They never do.
They never do.
And I hate how it's like, oh, the water breaks and 10 minutes later there's a baby. That's how it works.
That is not how it works. There's hours and hours of contractions and everything else.
Yeah, her water breaks and she immediately starts having contractions. That's not how it works either.
Yeah, right. Usually they're like, that's one thing too, is like, you're telling me before your water broke, you weren't having contractions?
Yeah, you weren't feeling anything.
You weren't feeling anything? Like, usually your contractions begin before any of that. Like,
no,
usually you're already dilated and everything before your water breaks.
Well, sometimes it depends, but usually you're having other symptoms before the water breaks. Like, you're having, like, there's a mucus plug. There's, like, not to get too crazy, but, like, there's other things that happen before your water breaks.
I think that's one of the
And then,
the biggest and most construed things in movies is birth.
Yeah.
Birth, they just make it look like it's like, blam, I just popped this bitch out.
Yeah.
Like, I sit down on the toilet and there's a baby in the toilet.
Like, you're not having painful contractions or anything like that, but you're not having like painful contractions immediately after your water breaks or anything either,
Right.
I mean, they're always different. Every birth is different.
Everything's
but, like,
different,
that's
but like,
not.
but they always make it look super simple.
Yeah, they make it look like,
oh my God, I'm in pain for like 2 minutes.
Well, you
and then
could put a timeline to movie
I feel better
births.
now.
Yeah, it's like you could put a timeline to movie births. Water breaks, contraction or two, baby, boom.
But they're
done.
back to it with a gun in their hand, blowing shit up.
And what they do is they put a little bit of jelly on the baby.
Yeah.
And the baby's like 8 feet long.
Yeah, the baby looks like a fucking 2-year-old.
Yeah.
But it's got some slime on it, so it looks new.
Yeah.
Their eyes are wide open, like, Mama?
Yeah,
like they're already
a little bit of grape jelly on the kid's head. We're good. Or probably strawberry
They're
jelly,
pulling their
actually.
own mom's tit out to stick it in their mouth. You know what I mean?
They got a cigarette in one hand and a tit in the other. He's got 3 kids and a mortgage.
Mom, hand me that gun. I'll help you blow people up. Anyway, let's move on here. We just summed it all up. Birthing babies in movies is just ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
It's stupid.
You might have the one good scene where the mom screams. You might get one of those.
It's not often that you get a realistic birthing scene in a lot of movies anymore, especially movies like
I
this.
did like how what was that movie? What to Expect When You're Expecting, where you had like 8 women in labor, and you had like realistic ones, and you had and then there was that one chick who just went chew, and then the baby. Like, that was hilarious. And every woman in the world collectively went bitch.
Yeah. It's so simple.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, man, that's good shit.
No,
he doesn't. He should know. He's been there for 3 births, and I mean, does it look easy, Eric?
Oh, by far no.
No, that's what I said. Well, women always use the comparison of like, try having a baby through your piss hole. I'm like, hold on a fucking minute. My piss hole is not like your vagina. My piss hole is like the size of a pin needle. I couldn't give birth through that fucking thing. Get real.
Right?
Your vaginas are built to have babies. If I gave birth through my piss hole, I don't have a penis. I have my penis is split down the middle now. That's what that is. Like that, it's impossible. I hate.
I no longer have a penis.
Yeah, people. I hate it when a woman's like, "Well, try having a a baby through your pee hole. And then I'm like, that's not how that works. Like they shove they shove anything. You shove anything in there, it's gonna fucking hurt. Like I hate that comparison. Kick me in the balls. That's a better comparison.
What is that movie? Deuce Bigelow. Shove this fucking swivel stick up your pee hole.
Oh my god, man! Anything up the pee hole's got it just can't be good. You know, can't be good.
They do procedures where they shove things
Couldn't
up there.
do it, dude. Couldn't do it. Let's get off that subject. It hurts just
They
talking
shove
about it.
cameras up there.
Shut up.
Some STD tests. That's how they have to do it.
What?
Some STD tests for men.
Yeah.
That's how they have to
Yeah, I
do
know
it.
they got to shove the Q-tip in there.
Yeah.
Wiggle it around a little.
Twist it.
Just hurts thinking about it, you know.
They can't lube it up either because they need.
Yeah, it's got to be dry to get the Ugh. All right. All right. Marcus is startled by the sounds of the rushing leaves in the cornfields. He flees in the. Hold on a minute. Oh, sorry, skip something. Armed with a loaded shotgun, Lee makes his way into the house and follows the trail of blood bathroom, where he finds Evelyn lying in the shower, lying in the shower with her newborn baby. Marcus is startled by the sounds of rustling leaves. In the cornfields, he flees in the opposite direction, wondering before knocking himself out from running into a tractor.
Doesn't he fucking like run into the fucking
Right
door
into
or
the
something,
fucking
or the
tire,
mirror
dude.
Or something?
Yeah, he runs right
Yeah.
into the fucking tractor
Yeah,
tire.
the tractor tire.
Okay.
It's either the tractor tire or where the
It's the
seat
tire.
is. Is
It's
it the
the
tire?
Yeah. Because as soon as he did, I was like, dumbass.
Well, my thing is like, why would you go off of the trail, which has sand, which is quiet,
And go into
and go
something
into the
that's
cornfield,
loud.
which is like, whap, 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 whap,
Yeah,
whap.
and you think by this point, especially after it being like this for a year and a half, you'd be like, okay, I know what I'm doing now. My dad taught me. And stay there. Like, if you hear noises or you hear something, just sit still.
This is the kid who 5 minutes ago was scared to death of the sound of a fish falling into a river, and now he's gonna run through a
Panic.
cornfield.
Yeah, he fucking panicked like an idiot.
He's gonna run through a cornfield
He's the
making
kind of
flap
kid.
noises.
Well, if you remember in the second one, I don't even think he was very smart in the second one either.
I haven't seen the second one yet.
You haven't seen it?
I'm
Well,
willing
he
to watch
just
it.
he
though.
just
I
watched this one.
Is that in the box? You guys watch?
Yeah.
we watched the
Yeah,
second
all of them are in the box.
Yeah, they're all
now.
in the box
Yeah.
now.
Anyway, okay, so Lee carries Evelyn and the baby back to the barn and heads underground as the child starts to cry. Lee puts an oxygen mask on the baby and places him inside a wooden crate where his cries are muffled. Some people might see this as like fucked up, but at the same time I get it.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
What other choice do you have?
you don't have another choice. That's the terrible part. Like, this kid's got to literally live, at least for its first year, inside of that box.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that sucks.
Until they understand. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, until they understand, shut the fuck up or I'm going to beat you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you can't beat them, but because then they'll just cry more.
Flick them on the nose.
Stop. Shh. No crying.
You shut that mouth or I'll shut it for you.
Yeah. Reagan makes her way. People probably think we're abusive fucking parents. I'm just like, they're like, man, I'm listening to this podcast. These guys must beat their kids.
Our children are very happy.
They're very happy. I've never beat my kids.
No.
I've never beat my kids. I've wanted to. Don't worry, I've wanted to, but no.
We're like every parent. It crosses our minds, but we don't do
it
it.
crosses every parent's mind. They just want to beat the fuck out of you.
You
right
get that
now.
urge. You're just,
Yeah, like just want to backhand the shit out of you. Anyway, Reagan makes her way home after noticing the fireworks. She sees a light coming from within the fields and stops. Unbeknownst to her, one of the creatures stands just a few feet away. However, her hearing aid produces some kind of high-pitched frequency that scares the creature off, but inflicts a fair amount of pain on Reagan as well. It's called feedback. That's what it is. It's just feedback.
Hurts everybody.
Huh?
Hurts everybody.
Yeah. Evelyn awakens from a nightmare with Lee standing at her side. He assures Evelyn that she's safe and that the creatures can't hear them underground. Evelyn then asks about Reagan and Marcus, who are still outside somewhere. However, Lee intends to find them. Evelyn looks over to their newborn baby and then says that she could have carried Bo, but he was too heavy. She feels that she could have been carrying him instead of walking on his own. She then makes Lee promise that he'll protect their kids. Reagan follows the light on the ground. God damn, there's so much to read. Fuck, man. Reagan follows the light on the ground.
Oh, there's so much detail.
Yeah, to Marcus and embraces. Usually we bitch because there's not enough, but god damn, like every fucking step of this movie is.
Like you said, he even put the year in 2021.
Yeah. Lee returns to the surface to find Reagan and Marcus. Reagan and Marcus have made their way on top of the grain silo and set fire to hopefully catch their father's attention. But they run out of lighter fluid and the fire dies. Still, Marcus is certain that their father will come for them. Evelyn awakens to find the basement flooded by a busted water pipe. She looks over and sees their baby's crate floating. And just a few feet from him stands one of the creatures that have made their way into the basement. Evelyn creeps over to the crib and retrieves her baby boy while mere inches from the creature. She slowly backs up and hides in a corner. Lee arrives at the tractor where he finds the kid's bag. Reagan wants to leave as she believes that their father will only come for Marcus as he still blames her for Bo's death. But Marcus insists they wait for their dad on top of the silo. Marcus attempts to convince her to stay, but he then falls through a trap door into the grain-filled silo. One of the doors falls just a couple of inches away. Lee watches from on top of the tractor as this unfolds and spots one of the creatures charging towards the silo. Marcus begins to sink into the grain. It's not grain, it's fucking corn. Marcus begins to sink into the grain while quicksand, so Reagan dives in to give him a hand, and they use the steel door as a resting platform. I hate that they call it grain because it is obviously corn. They have corn fields, for God's sake. This could be Ohio, literally.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
One of the creatures then jumps down into the silo, but just like before, it flees, hearing the whining feedback from Reagan's hearing it. Also, now you acknowledge it's feedback now. So the scene in the corn. What's up?
It could be considered corn, or corn can be considered either a grain or a vegetable depending on when it was harvested. So they technically could be right.
Shut up, Jeremiah.
Just saying.
God damn it. It's fucking corn.
Put that
Well,
cookie
I know
down.
that, but
Well,
Are you
whenever it
happy?
was
You're gonna
harvested,
fuck me up.
Yeah, whenever it was harvested, it was probably like fucking a year and a half ago. So it's probably, because I'm
probably
sure they're out
grain.
there harvesting their. That's another thing that I don't understand. Why do they have cornfields? Why do they have corn? Why do they have full stalks of corn?
You know how hard that would be to harvest that
No,
without
no.
any
They
machinery?
couldn't. They couldn't harvest that corn. Okay, so
technically it should be dead.
it should be dead. It should have already been harvested a year ago.
Yeah.
Corn doesn't just come back, especially in perfect
Yeah.
fucking rows.
Not that way. Not with that machinery.
Yeah, so that's the one thing that's one thing that is unbelievable, because it's been a year and a half since all this went down. There is no corn in those fields. There should not be anything in those fields.
I could see like a certain.
That is aesthetic right there. That's all that is.
If he had like a couple rows here and there just for his family, I could imagine that
Lot
with
of
your
rows.
own like handheld tools. I could see that, but not that much.
No.
At the risk of sounding stupid, but if you don't harvest the corn and it just dies off, do the stalks die too?
Yes,
Yeah, they
there's
die.
there's
I don't
no
know, I've
way.
never-
It's
Well,
not.
I'm not a
I think it's
farmer.
got to go through a winter. It goes through its season, then it dies.
Corn
well,
is
no,
not
like
a
when they harvest it, they take the stalks and everything down. So I don't know what happens
Corn
to it in
is
the winter
not-
if the stalks doesn't come down when they do the harvest.
Look it up. What happens to corn if
That's
you
what
don't
I'm saying.
harvest
Like
it?
if you don't harvest it and the stalks stay
Yeah.
up when winter hits, do they die with the corn or do they just stay up?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Do
That's
they
why I
just
said
come
this.
back
This might
and-
be a stupid question. I mean, I live in Ohio, but when they harvest, they take everything
Like you
down.
say, they always harvest it, so
They cut the stalks
you
and
got a
everything
point.
down.
Yeah, does it just come back the next year, or
Or
I don't
does
know.
it even come down at all?
Yeah. Well, that, and we also don't know where they are in the way of like this,
How they harvest it, maybe.
or
I
where
don't
they
know.
are. Like, do they have a winter? You know what I
point.
mean? So that's one thing.
Yeah.
But if you don't, like, even in southern states, if you don't harvest it, does it just die and go away, or
Yeah,
what?
I don't know.
This just says the stalks would turn brown, die, and break from the weight of the corn. Animals would eat much of it. The part of the grain that was not eaten would sprout in the springtime. However, since almost all corn grown now is a hybrid, the plants that come up next year will not look like what you planted.
Okay, so
The next generation will revert to one of the hybrid parent plants, expect something like tall grass.
it wouldn't look perfectly uniform like it is in the movie. Like, those are perfectly planted rows of corn.
Yeah.
If you, because even when we're standing on the tractor, you can see as rows of corn,
Mhm.
rows of corn.
Mhm.
Like, so you're telling me at some point the creatures just didn't mind that he was out there with a combine, harvesting corn and all that shit? Like, no, it's been a year and a half. Like, that shit's dead. And if it does come back, it's not coming back looking all pretty like that.
Like I said, if he would have to have, he would have his own personal, little garden. I could see
If at
that.
all. If at all. Because let's face it, corn is a noisy food. It's a noisy food. If you are even eating it. If it is grain, like you said, or feed, because a lot of corn is harvested as feed instead of corn to be ate by people. That's what they do. They harvest it as feed for like pigs and animals and shit. Well, even then, is it even worth it? It's loud. It's hard to, like, you can't shuck Can't shuck corn without making a lot of noise. Also, it's noisy to eat. It's very noisy food. You know what I mean? So, just
Well,
Take it off the
get,
cob.
but to get it off the cob is very noisy.
it's very
Like you said,
noisy.
You gotta
Like,
shuck it.
like I
or-
said, you got to
Well,
shuck
just
it.
do it
but
under
if it's off the
waterfall.
cob, yeah, it's not noisy.
Or
but
in
to
the
get
water,
it there,
maybe. But
Yeah, do it in the water or behind the waterfall when the kid fucking screamed. I mean, because, like, I'm sorry, but if I was in this situation, I don't know if I'd be able to eat fish.
ah.
Like, that's not,
I don't know. There's a lot of things in the movie. That
I guess
like,
I'm
don't know.
switching to venison completely or something. I don't know.
I don't know about you, but if I knew that like you could make a lot of noise behind a waterfall, I think I might live behind that waterfall.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm living behind that fucking
I
waterfall.
mean, the space didn't look all that big, though.
It
I'm
did,
putting up
but
a
I'm
tarp
saying
and I'm
it's
just
just
gonna
like
get
a
used
but
to
little-
living
also,
like
just
this.
a little
so it
cove.
even said he even had a newspaper clipping of it where it said, they can't swim, they're afraid of water. Why the fuck are you living on a farm? Go find yourself a lake with an island and sit on that bitch, or a river, or like the ocean, whatever. Like, I know, like here we have Indian Lake. You know how many islands there are on Indian Lake?
That's true.
There's a few of them out there
Big
where you have to
farm
get
out
on. You
there.
have to get on a boat and get out to that fucking. That's where I'm going.
Yeah.
That's exactly where I'm. I'm thinking like, oh, they don't like water. They can't swim. Come on, guys, we're gonna go live on an island.
Mhm.
Let's go.
We're gonna
And
start
don't
up
get me
our own
wrong, that's
farm.
where the second one, like,
Goes
kind of
to.
like
Yep.
does something
Yeah.
smart. But I'm just like, I don't know about him, but if he's trying to protect his family, why the fuck are you staying there in your creaky old house in a barn?
Mhm.
Like, go somewhere else, dude.
I can see at the 89-day mark because you're still thinking, they might do something. Might
Yeah,
happen.
Something
but
might happen. You know,
Yeah,
after a
it's-
few months, okay.
a year and a half.
But after a year, I'm like, or even less, I'm like, oh man, like this is getting too dangerous now. We need to go. Actually, I'll be honest with you. After a few weeks of thinking, like, I don't know what's going to happen. We got to figure something out here. But they don't like water. They can't swim. Let's go find ourselves an island until all this blows over.
Mhm.
So that's
After
exactly
a
what I'd
few
be
fucking
thinking.
days. My ass is fucking on a hike.
I'm figuring something out real quick. I wouldn't be staying here.
No,
I know
fuck
that.
After a few days,
Yeah.
as soon as I find out,
I'd
that
go find
they-
me a fucking boat and sit on it for a while.
right.
All right, let's go, guys. We're gonna go find ourselves a big body of water, and we're gonna that's all we're gonna do. So,
We'll find something. We know they don't like this. Is where we're going.
there's some plot holes in this movie, but
Create your own water world.
yeah, exactly. All right, there ain't much here left. Okay, Evelyn makes her way back to the house with her baby boy. Lee rushes over to the silo and embraces Reagan and Marcus. However, the creature is still near. I think I skipped over some stuff. You know what? You know what happens. However, the creature is still near. Lee sends the kids to the abandoned truck while he grabs an axe from the tool shed. The creature slashes at Lee, leaving a large gash across his chest. Actually, it's more of his stomach, but hey, who's counting?
Right.
Marcus then calls out for him, but Reagan pushes Marcus back into the truck. Reagan then starts hearing feedback from her hearing aid. It becomes so unbearable that she turns it off. Then the creature attacks the truck with what little life remains in him. Lee pulls himself up and screams out loud to distract the creature from his kids, but not before signaling to Reagan that he loves her and that he always has. After the creature charges toward Lee and rips him apart, Marcus takes the truck out of the park and rolls it down the hill to the house, where they run into the arms of their mother before running into the house. You're telling me that fucker rolled down that hill and didn't make a single
Perfect.
fucking noise? Not a single noise.
Nope.
It's a load of shit.
It's totally quiet. I was thinking
Ev-
the same thing as it was rolling down the hill.
You
I'm
can
like,
see she's watching it roll down the hill. I'm like, oh, that's making all kinds of noise. You know
well,
it
and you
is.
hear the truck, or you see the truck doing this. Like,
Yeah.
you're telling me.
Like, you're telling me them shocks ain't making no noise or
Yeah,
nothing?
it ain't moved
After-
in like over a year and a half, and they're not rusted or any.
Yeah.
There's
I don't see the problem
nothing.
with it. It's in the title of the movie.
Everything there's quiet.
Yeah.
He's out there every day oiling everything, making sure it's good to go in case just a situation. Evelyn leads Reagan and Marcus into the basement. She sits Marcus in a corner with the baby as Reagan examines her father's notes on the creatures and on his experimentation with several different implants, which brings tears to her eyes. A creature then makes its way into the basement, and Evelyn holds it at gunpoint. No, she doesn't. It can't see. How can it be held at gunpoint?
That's a good point.
She's got a gun pointed at me.
No.
The television static sends the creature into a frenzy. Reagan then realizes that the high-pitched frequency from her hearing aid is the creature's weakness. She turns her hearing aid on, causing harm both to her and the creature. Why didn't she just take it out of her ear and just, you know what I mean? However, for the creature, the pain is so excruciating after Reagan places the boosted implant on a nearby microphone to magnify the feedback that it collapses. Painfully disoriented, the creature exposes the flesh beneath its armored head and renders itself vulnerable to a shotgun blast from Evelyn. And though they've managed to kill one, the sound of the gunfire draws more creatures in their direction. With newly acquired knowledge of the weakness of the creatures, Reagan begins to use the cochlear implant on the microphone, and Evelyn loads her gun, prepared to fight back. Which was a pretty good ending. I thought the ending was really good. Like, you're like, all right, it's about to fuck some shit up. You know what I mean? I thought it was a good place to stop. You know.
Except I think she needs something better than a shotgun. With
Well,
that
for
many
two
of them coming in.
I mean, if they get down there and they do that, and because they go into a frenzy, like it fucking drives them insane. I could see
it looked
them.
like more than two of them coming in, though.
There's only
Yeah,
two of them.
but
There's only two because
but
it
once-
just showed them on two different cameras.
Oh, okay.
once
It looked
I
like
mean,
more
Yeah,
than
because
that.
he only said he only spotted 3.
He said confirm 3.
Only
confirmed
confirmed 3.
three, okay.
Yeah.
They killed one. 2 more were headed in.
It looked like more than that on the camera, but
so
you could
the
be
camera
right. You
angle
could be
was like
right.
it showed one camera, and it showed two, and then it showed another camera, and it showed the same two passing
Okay.
by.
But those two that's going to be running in there, once she starts putting that fucking
Exactly.
frequency,
They're
they're
gonna
going
freak out.
if there's only two,
they're
then
going to bolt running away.
if,
no,
if
they're not
there's
gonna bolt.
only
They're going to
two,
freak out, and they're going to be in pain, and it'll give her a chance to kill them.
no, if there's only two, then they're fine. I just
I'm
thought
not
there
sure
was
if
more
they
than
even
that.
show that in the sequel or what.
I
don't-
figured that.
I
I
don't
figured
remember
once
if they
once
do.
that frequency starts up, I figured those two would fucking bolt.
They would try. I would assume they would try to because that's usually what would happen. is
Yeah,
they'd freak
I
out
figured
and
they'd
run
freak out
away.
and try to run away.
Me, I'd be finding me like a battery powered fucking speaker of some kind with a microphone.
I'm sure they will.
You know what I mean? Like, "Brrr," you know what I mean? So you think like loud horn blasts and shit like that would bother him too, like those, the air horns.
Yeah, like
and
that's what I'm
shit.
saying. Like I can't believe that somebody didn't even just accidentally find this out.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know,
even an air
Some
horn, you think it would
seahorn.
blow out their fucking ears or something, you know?
well, you think about the military. Like you're telling me that the military didn't like
Oh,
don't
high
know,
frequencies.
blow shit
the
up at
military,
them,
the military
and
have.
that didn't hurt their
I mean,
ears.
military have those kind of weapons. They have weapons for those reasons.
I mean, I get that high frequencies probably bother them, but there are louder things than high frequencies.
Well, and you're telling me that none of their electronics in the military didn't fuck with them? You know, like their walkie-talkie,
Yeah.
any of that shit. You know,
Walkie-talkies definitely have
radar,
a lot of feedback.
you know, whatever. And they didn't get close to these fuckers as they were fighting them, and they didn't even like accidentally find out this shit. I mean, just
I know it's very unrealistic.
I mean, that's all.
but they don't involve the military in any of these movies in any.
No,
kind
I know
of
we
way.
don't have all of that. You know, front story, and you know that I don't want to because if I don't know, you're just gonna poke holes in it.
Right, yeah.
But like,
I'm saying
I like not knowing.
I do know the
anyway.
military do have weapons like that for crowd
Yeah.
dispersing.
yeah, like
They-
high frequency
Yeah, they do
weaponry
have.
and things
They
like
do
that.
have high frequency
Yeah.
weaponry.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. Like, just even on accident, you're telling me nobody even happened upon
Yeah.
a way to, you know,
Like
mess
whenever
with
the
them.
movie first came out, I think that this movie really holds its own in the horror genre. And I'm proud for that because there's not a lot of movies like that in nowadays.
No,
Like
no.
newer movies coming out nowadays, you're kind of like, it's a rehash of another fucking movie, or
Yeah,
another
this is
idea.
completely fresh right off.
The only thing that I didn't like is the creature design. The creature design is, I think, what bothered me the most. It just reminded me of like Cloverfield or the Demogorgon from Stranger Things, and it just gave me that kind of creature idea, that look, and I don't care much for that. Like, I just thought that the the creature design in this movie was unoriginal compared to what's been done already
Mhm.
in horror movies,
Mhm.
like monster movies.
Mhm.
It seems like every monster movie, if there's a monster in it, it looks like that. And
Yep.
you remember like Feast. Feast is
Mhm.
kind of one of those things where they just like don't give it eyes, give it big teeth and a big mouth and sharp claws, and that's your monster.
Mhm.
It's like, okay, but it's been done 100,000 fucking times now. It's getting old,
Mhm.
And I mean, what do you call that monster? I mean, it's been in. I mean, like literally, like I said, other than like Cloverfield, it's a giant monster.
Yeah.
But then you've got these creatures. I don't even know what they call them. And then you've got the creatures from Feast. You've got the Demogorgon from Stranger Things, and I'm sure. And then there's another movie that was on Shudder. I can't remember the name of it, but it was like that too.
Arcadian? Is that the one with Nicolas Cage?
No. It was not The Lair.
Let's say, because that had some weird ass alien things. in it.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm like all these movies coming out that they all look the fucking same. They all look like eyeless, big mouth, big teeth, big claws. Yeah, they might walk like these creatures do in this movie, but that I feel like that was stolen from Cloverfield, or even like Stranger Things a little bit. And then you've got but then sometimes you've got the creatures like from Feast where they stand on two legs and they just literally look like somebody in a fucking suit. They all look the same to me. I think that's my biggest problem with this movie is the creature design. It just looks like every other fucking creature that they're doing nowadays. I think they all look the same.
It's valid.
There's nothing original. I get that. Like back in the day, your original monsters were vampires, werewolves, mummies, but they were something that were distinguished between each other.
Yeah.
They all had different things about them.
Yeah.
Like the difference between a zombie and a werewolf. You get that. Whereas in this, like
Like you try to sell it in each movie as its own separate thing, and
But they all look the same.
but they all look the same.
Yeah.
Whereas in those old, those old, movies, every vampire was of the same vampire.
Yeah.
They were all.
As a matter of
vampires.
like even like the Demogorgon from Stranger Things looks a lot like essentially what the zombies in the Resident Evil movies turned into.
Mhm.
With that whole opening the whole mouth thing and
Yeah.
all that, and
Yep.
it's like, okay, it's overdone, man.
Yep.
Like there's where do we come back to some originality?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where are some good original monsters? And that's my biggest. Like this movie could be so much more original had they done the creature design in a different way, or better, I should say. Because aside from that, though, the movie's great. If they would just have given us a different creature design, I think that it would have been. I think it would have hit better for people. But anyway, sorry, I went on a rant about that. So, give us some fucking practical effect creatures. That'd be awesome. Can you imagine that? Like,
They should get back into like puppeteering and things
I'm
like that.
telling
Like,
you,
love
dude.
that
I
shit.
love it, dude. And I think one day that's going to make a comeback.
God, I hope so.
I think it will. I think it'll make a comeback because it's like anything else. People will eventually get tired of the CG bullshit.
It looks
Like,
so
man,
much
bring us
better.
back some good fucking practical effects. And it looks better, man. It looks
I mean,
better.
I believe Gizmo was real. You know what I'm saying? Like
Exactly.
everybody
Like,
wanted a Gizmo.
I wanted a
you know?
Gizmo. You know what I mean? I wanted a little Mogwai.
That's right.
So yeah, I,
don't
agree.
believe, if they made a Gizmo movie nowadays, like you wouldn't believe it if
I mean, you guys. Well,
you
you
have a
heard me.
CGI Gizmo, you'd be like, mm-mm.
You heard me on my tirade about Little Shop of Horrors and
Yeah.
how great that puppeteering
Oh,
was with
yeah.
Audrey too.
Yeah,
It was fucking fantastic.
yeah.
So the practical effects are amazing. And that's one of my favorite things about The Thing. The Thing was amazing
Yes.
because of its practical effects.
Yes.
They were so
100%.
fucking good.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I love that shit.
Oh.
I got a soft spot for practical effects. Why do you think I love this man down here? He's a fucking makeup artist, dude. Tom Savini's one of the best.
For sure.
Anyway,
For sure.
sorry. Let's move on.
Okay.
Let's get into you guys done with your notes and all that stuff? You don't even have any?
I told you I didn't bring my book this week.
All right.
Put that cookie
let's get
down!
into- let's get into rating and reviewing Quiet Place.
Let's run out as bitch.
All right. Let's start with Eric, man. We never start with Eric. We're
Hold
going to
on.
start with this guy. What do you think of A Quiet Place from 2018, man?
So I actually really like this movie. I didn't have a whole lot of bad to say about it. I do really wish, like you said, that the monsters were more of a practical effects and more than the CGI. But other than that, I mean, I think the acting was great. I really thought it really kind of hit you in the feels with like the dad aspect of it. Seeing the kid die in the movie, seeing him like he sacrificed himself for his kids. So I'm going to come in at a hard 8.5 for it for
Pretty
me.
good. Okay.
8.5.
Yeah, 8.5.
I didn't think he was going to go that high.
That's like a 10 for him.
Yeah, no
I
shit.
mean, as far as a
He's
horror,
so critical on good movies. He's like,
as far as a horror movie goes, this is probably one of my favorite ones.
is it?
Yeah.
It's a good movie.
I think
I'm
it.
not-
I
I think,
think it
like
was-
I said, it's got its flaws, but it's a
Yeah.
good movie. Karen, what do you think of Quiet Place, dog?
Well, like I said, I think the biggest fault is the whole not figuring out that they really can hear. So let's
Yeah.
just be louder,
Yeah.
I don't quite understand how that took so long. I think, like Eric said, that it hits you in the feels, but it's also like a terrifying thought. So there's like a lot of emotion in the movie, not just being scared, but also all the familial stuff. And the acting through their facial expressions is fantastic.
Yeah,
Like
I
that
think-
is
I think John did a great. great
that
aspect
is
with that.
that's
John
exactly
Krasinski was definitely a standout.
yeah,
in this
that's
movie.
exactly where I was going with that, because
Yeah.
he, above all of the others,
Mhm.
his facial expressions.
Well, his
Yeah, he does
direction
great.
with it.
Yeah, he
That's
does
what I'm
great.
saying. Like
Perfect.
his direction with it, I thought he did great with that.
Oh yeah,
I know we didn't give him enough praise in the movie, like during, but Yeah, he's probably one of the best aspects of this
For sure.
movie.
For sure.
And I honestly believe that's why one of the reasons why I don't care as much for the second one as I do
agree.
for this one.
I agree.
he's
Because
not
like
in
once
it.
since his character's gone,
Yeah.
it's missing something.
Exactly.
But yeah, I mean, there's a lot to be said for the originality of it. You know, there's very little dialogue. You've got these creatures that are drawn by sound. But you know, there are a lot of holes that are drawn by that too, because
What's the matter?
I was going to say, put the cookie down.
My cookie.
the originality of it is a huge bonus. Not a lot of people do it. I'm gonna come in with Eric, and I'm gonna say it's an 8.5 for me too.
Okay. For me, there's some plot holes that I can't get past. The high frequency thing.
It's just a movie.
I know it's just a movie. These are plot devices. Because most of them really are just plot devices. It's literally all they are. Other than that, they wouldn't be there. The between the cochlear implant, you know, and the high frequency thing, that should have been figured out a long time ago. The corn bothered me. I didn't actually think about it until we were talking about it. I'm like, what the fuck is up with this corn? And then it's funny because I'm wearing a corn t-shirt. That's weird. That is so fucking weird.
Different type of corn, damn it.
Just grain instead of
Grain.
corn. Like, the R is backwards on grain.
Okay, there's got to be somebody out there listening to this. If you're trying to come up with a heavy metal band name,
Grain.
we just got it for
No,
you.
a corn cover band.
Yeah,
Called
they're
Grain.
called Grain. Yes.
That's great.
G backwards and the R is backwards.
You got to give us credit though.
Yeah.
That is hilarious.
That's great.
Eyes upside down.
Yeah, the I's upside down instead of the R being
Oh, yeah.
backwards.
But it's still gonna have like the big uppercase the lowercase n.
Yeah, the big lowercase. Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, aside from that, the nail really bothered me. The nail was the biggest thing that bothered me in the step. That really fucking bothered me. Didn't bother you? It bothered me.
No, it bothered me. It's just a simple fact that I've stepped on quite a few nails in my time.
It's just something you don't overlook.
Like flashbacks.
Especially for something that you are
Yeah, no
always, you're always.
flashback.
I would assume that every time they walk down them steps, they're looking at the steps too. You know what I mean? Because they got to watch where they step. Anyway,
I'm just saying, like, I don't see how structurally why that nail was there
exactly.
at all.
Why is that? Why is it up through the bottom of the fucking step? It doesn't make any sense.
Is she gonna be able to see the nail over her belly? She was pregnant when she went
mean,
down.
Maybe.
Like-
Yeah, I guess you're probably right about that. I'll give her that much. But still, though,
She wasn't
wasn't
the only
she
one
carrying
going
a
down
basket?
those steps, though.
yeah. Anyway,
Was she carrying a basket? down
but
the
aside
step,
from
too?
that, I believe that the
Maybe
movie
yeah.
itself is extremely original. I love the idea that it's an alien or a creature that that hunts you by sound. Like, don't get me wrong, it's been done before, but it's never been done to this magnitude where the
So
entire
well done. Really.
yeah, so well done and well written. The kids do great. Emily Blunt's amazing. John Krasinski's the fucking shit in this movie. He plays it. He's so good in this movie.
Mhm.
And it's funny because like this is back whenever like comedians were coming out and doing horror movies. You're like, what the fuck?
Mhm.
Like, so when do comedians have a better idea of what a horror movie should be than actual horror
As
movie
we've
directors?
said before, there's like this fine line
Yeah.
between funny and horrific.
Because at
Like,
that
it's
time
just-
you had Danny McBride coming out with his fucking Halloween shit, which it sucked. But then
he
you had
tried though.
but
You
then
know,
you
that's
had-
all that matters.
the first one was good.
The first
Yeah,
one was
you're
good,
right. The
and
first
that
one was
just-
good. And,
I don't care who wins. I'm just glad that everybody had a good time.
Yeah. And then you had like because you also had Jordan Peele coming out
Mhm.
with his stuff, and his shit is amazing. His fucking movies are great.
Did you hear he's revamping Scare Tactics? I think.
Scare
I think
Tactics?
he's bringing Scare Tactics back.
He already tried to bring back fucking the Twilight Zone or something, and that
Yeah.
failed.
They're redoing. I think it's Scare Tactics.
He just needs to stick to his own stuff, man. He does so good. Nope was amazing, man. That was a good fucking movie.
Mhm.
Anyway, before we get on that tirade, aside from that, the movie's great. Everybody does fantastic. The setup is good. The opening scene's amazing. everything about this movie is really good. There's a few plot holes, but I can set them aside and, you know, be like, whatever. It's just a fucking movie. So for that, I'm going to go ahead and give it an 8. I'll give it an 8 because this is, of the 3 that I've seen, this is the best one, in my opinion. The best thing about the second one is Cillian Murphy. I fucking love that dude. Cillian.
Killian.
It's Cillian.
Killian.
It's Cillian.
Killian.
It's an 8 though. I'm pretty sure they pronounce it Cillian.
You said his name earlier, and I wanted to be like Killian.
Cillian Murphy. Hold on a minute. I'm gonna
Have him say his name.
how to pronounce. So it is pronounced Cillian Murphy. Okay.
Did you guys see that Steve Carell?
Hold on.
Cillian Murphy.
Just so everybody's aware.
Yeah, you said it earlier when we were talking about
I thought it was
Oppenheimer.
Cillian because I thought somebody was bitching about it that it was Cillian Murphy.
No,
Hold on. He's gonna say his own name.
Well, it's an Irish name. It's an old Irish name. I think like most Irish names, they were saints originally, and it's pronounced Killian.
Fuck. It is Cillian. My bad, guys. My bad.
Yes, Killy.
Fucking Christ.
The way I remember to help you out, if you need to know, is that Cillian would be silly.
Cillian would be silly. I thought it was Cillian. I thought people were pronouncing it silly because I used to say Cillian Murphy all the time. It was like, that's not how you say it. It's Cillian Murphy. Okay. So no, it's
See,
Cillian.
it's
Fuck you guys. Whoever said that to me
See,
made me look like a jackass. Somebody probably said that to me. He's like, "Oh, you didn't know?" I'm like, "No, dude, it's actually pronounced Cillian Murphy. But we're fucking with him." Fucking asshole.
That's exactly what
That's
they
what
did.
that
Those sons
is.
of
These
bitches.
motherfuckers.
Kick their ass next time we see them.
Anyway, it's an 8 from me. Jeremiah, what'd you think of Quiet Place?
I love it. Granted, first time watching it, I never really gave much to the, the plot holes, the shit y'all brought up.
I didn't either
and
until
all
I watched
that.
it this
yeah.
time.
So, I mean, obviously it's a movie. The plot devices, the nail specifically was a hard time.
I didn't notice the nail until this
Like-
time.
And just seeing it going on their
I didn't
feet.
notice it was in a green space until this time.
Exactly. I was like,
Yeah.
where the fuck was the point of
Like-
that nail?
Watching Home Alone, when he does the whole nail on the thing.
You think maybe John Krasinski, like Lee, he put it there on purpose?
No.
Yeah, I'm gonna fuck with this bitch. That bitch is dying.
But no,
today.
like watching that
She wanted
Doesn't
this baby
have-
on purpose.
much, because I've had to.
She's trying to trap me.
trying to trap me. She ain't getting no child support from me.
I've had to have a few tetanus shots because I've stepped on rusty nails.
That one looked pretty clean though.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But even then, even the Home Alone one didn't look terribly bad.
That was a
But
fresh nail.
it was
Yeah.
less.
That was a fresh nail.
It was less
That was a
of an
roofing
impactful
nail.
feeling when you see
fresh
Marv
nail.
do it compared to pregnant Emily Blunt just
Yeah.
slowly
Yeah, that was
And
the
then that
biggest thing
shit
for me.
hits
She
the
like
fucking bottom.
she like pulled her foot up off. I was like, pull her
Yeah,
off
and then
faster.
she's
What are you
like-
doing? What is the hesitation?
Just do it!
Yeah, just pull it off.
That hurt. The opening, like you said, was amazing, especially like the tenseness. You see that fucking rocket ship light up, and John Krasinski turned around and he like bolted for it, and then you seen that fucking thing just like
Yeah.
that, and you're like,
Oh,
I wasn't expecting that 5 minutes into the movie,
Mm-mm. And you never do. That's
Yeah,
what gets your
yeah.
attention. Yeah.
I think that was one of the biggest hits right there.
yeah. You
Right at
just-
the beginning of the
you're
movie
just
with
like,
the kid
oh,
and
man.
everything, like that rocket ship.
Well,
you're
that's
like,
what kind of movie
oh,
this
shit.
is gonna be. Click.
Well, you're thinking like, oh, don't worry, you'll get to him in time. They're just setting up some shit, and then like that kid gets snatched up. Like, oh, damn,
Yeah.
damn.
Oh, no.
The cast was great.
I don't need this shit. Click.
Yeah, I don't like this.
The cast was
This is
great.
AI all over. Fuck you.
Yeah.
I love the fact that they actually hired a death actor.
I've been hurt before.
Yeah, they did. Yeah. And she did a great
My
job.
emotions
have
have been fucked with too
She
much.
did great.
But yeah, other than that, I mean, I didn't really have an issue with the CGI monsters. I guess I would like practical, but
I think
this
that's
day and age, you go in expecting
CGI.
I want to reiterate that the CGI monsters don't bother me because the movie itself is so good. The CGI monsters are just there as a plot device. That's really what they are. They're a plot device. They're not a big part of. They're not a central part of the movie. The movie itself is based on.
You
it's
could have
this
almost
family.
left the mocap guys, and it would have been the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. Like if they would have, like the monsters are just there to move the story
This guy
along,
just like a
and they're
cooked
the main antagonists. At the end of the day, the main story is about this family and about their survival. Has nothing. I mean, yeah, of course, the monsters play a part,
They do matter.
but they do matter. But they don't. But they don't matter when it comes to what the story is, and that's why I think that the way they look and stuff doesn't bother me as much as it probably should.
Yeah.
Because they're not original monsters by any means.
Mm-mm.
So,
But yeah, other than that, I mean, I'd probably give it. I'd probably go with like 8.5.
2? He said a 2. Just- I don't know.
Yeah, I'd probably go with an 8.5. If I'm being honest.
All right. The movie was pretty good though. Yeah,
I mean, so far it's a franchise I'm enjoying.
I'll
And,
agree.
Like
It's
we haven't seen the prequel, Day One,
you'll like it.
but I
You'll
mean,
like it.
I imagine
If you like this, I will say that the prequel is better than the second movie. Because the second movie was good, it had its points, but the prequel was better because it took me back to what the first one was trying to do.
Yeah,
a
they
little
tried
bit.
to put Reagan in Lee's place, and in the second
Yeah.
one, I felt like, and it was like,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I get what you're doing here because she,
Right.
out of the kids, she was the most like him.
Yeah, and she was the most brave, and
Uh-huh.
you know,
But it's like, I mean, I know she's gonna grow up to be her dad. We get it. But
Yeah, right.
I'm not here for the journey. I guess is what
I
I'm
didn't need a
saying.
prequel between the second and third one though either, unless they're trying to set something else up for the third one, which I can see because at the end, you guys will watch the movie, and at the end of the movie, you're like, okay, maybe this is something, you know. But the second, the prequel was a lot like it took me back to why I liked the first one so much.
Okay.
So that's why I liked it, and it taking place in New York was like a whole different thing. I thought that was fun and cool, and the characters in it, which Joseph Quinn, his character didn't make much sense to me. I mean, he did, but I mean, like why he was tagging along didn't make any sense to me. But aside from that, like the characters themselves are very likable. I can't remember her name, Lupita.
Oh,
I can't remember her fucking
yeah,
name.
I can't remember.
Her character's awesome. I love her character in the movie. She's my favorite thing in that movie. So I just think that I think they were trying to take you back to the first movie a little bit, and I liked it. So it was a good movie.
I can't pronounce it.
Is it
Nyong'o?
like Deong or something like that?
Nah, it's like I don't know how. I don't know if it's
Nyong'o,
Nyong'o.
Lupita Nyong'o, or I don't know. I have no fucking idea.
I have no idea.
All these Hollywood people's got weird fucking names. So, but yeah, it's a good movie. So if anybody hasn't seen it, I would suggest watching it.
She was in Us,
She was in
Yeah.
Us. She was in
Black Panther,
Black Panther. She's been in a few different
Little
movies.
Monsters.
Mm-hmm.
She was in Little Monsters.
Not the
Not
Howie
the-
Mandel
the-
one.
the Hulu movie.
Oh yeah,
I
that's
think it had
right.
Josh Gad
yeah,
in it or
yeah.
something.
About the kids that eat the bad fucking
Yeah.
That shit
bad-
was great.
chicken nuggets or whatever they
Yeah.
were. Like
That shit was great.
that was good.
Are you calling?
Oh,
Madison?
sorry. Yeah, Karen. How about some of that sweet ass fucking
Are
trivia?
you calling Madison?
Oh shit, my bad. Yeah, let's get Madison's review on the movie. She's gonna be like, Dad, you forgot about me again.
And
Kevin!
then you're skipping Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh shit! Well, we got to get hers first, then we'll do
Yeah.
Rotten Tomatoes.
Lupita Nyong'o.
Nyong'o, yeah. See?
Nyong'o.
There you go.
See, we gotta look. We gotta Google people's pronunciation. Their names. Yeah, Cillian Murphy
Well, that
and
was
Lupita
just-
Nyong'o.
It's like a weird.
Well,
Well,
even
she's Kenyan.
even news
So even
outlets and
then,
shit
like-
mispronounce people's names, so you get accustomed to those people's names. Like, people don't know how to say who's the guy Mahershala Ali. People don't know how to pronounce his name.
I struggle with
At least-
that one.
yeah, I do too.
Yeah, it's
At least we're
Mahershala
just talking to
Ali.
the
Like, think of
internet. Can you
Muhammad
imagine
Ali,
being on
but
TV?
Mahershala.
It'd be like-
Mahershala Ali. And then there's a few of them out there like that. I'm like, it's like this. Like, the only one that I've really apparently fucked up is Cillian Murphy.
Well, there's like a Vietnamese name. It's pronounced Nguyen, but it's spelled like Nuygen.
Mhm.
Yeah, or like,
Or something like
Denzel
that.
Washington. Everybody says Denzel. It's actually Denzel.
Denzel.
Denzel Washington. It says Denzel. It says Denzel, but it's actually Denzel. Denzel Washington.
Mhm.
So
Ah,
that's called Madison.
did you ever see the original?
No, that one's amazing though.
Oh yeah, I really like it.
Whenever we do him, and that's my favorite movie from him, hands down. What are you doing, bitch? I mean, Madison.
Grocery shopping.
Gross. Did you watch the movie?
No, I decided not to this week, actually.
You fucking liar.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I watched the movie. I feel like they played the dialogue, like, right? I guess? You know what I mean?
There was no dialogue. What are you talking about?
Exactly.
Oh, exactly. I like no dialogue.
It's called The Quiet Place, though. You'd expect there to be no dialogue.
It's actually called A Quiet Place.
Sorry.
Not
Get
the-
it right.
But they did it in, like, the way that it's not boring. Well, you remember that one alien movie that we watched?
Oh, that really, really
I know what
narrows
I know
it
what
down.
she's talking about. The one that was also about the girl that couldn't talk and she was like deaf and all that stuff.
I don't think she was.
It was on
I'm so
Hulu.
lost.
Oh,
you
yeah.
told us to watch
Yeah.
it, I
What was
think.
that movie called? Fuck.
Was she deaf?
She
she
wasn't
was
deaf.
deaf,
She
no?
wasn't deaf. No.
She just didn't talk.
She just didn't talk. She
Okay.
didn't
She was
talk.
a mute.
They're supposed to play
I
on
thought she
the,
was
like,
deaf
the
for some
factor
reason.
of her life or whatever.
Yeah, that movie was awesome. She was the best part of that fucking movie. You didn't like
I know,
it?
I showed it to
Didn't like it?
you.
I liked it. You didn't like it either? All the bullshit you guys watched, you didn't like that fucking movie?
Yeah, we hold ourselves to a high standard.
Okay.
I thought they were both good movies, so I'm starting to think I like movies with no dialogue.
You might be
As long
right.
as- Well, as long as I don't.
She likes things to be quiet.
Shut the fuck up and let me just watch the movie. Oh, wait, those are the actors talking.
Yeah. But I thought it was a good movie. This movie was. I was gonna give it an 8, and then I was like, I feel like that's too high, so I'm gonna give it a 7.5.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
I gave it an 8. Jeremiah gave it an 8.5.
Yeah.
Everybody
Eric
else gave it an 8.5.
8.5. I was the only one that gave it an 8, so 7.5. That's about fair.
8.2.
It gives the total aggregate is 8.2. That's pretty good.
Sweet.
That's pretty good. I'm sure the critics were like sucking this movie's dick, but you know, whatever. So,
Probably.
all right. Well, we'll let you know what movie we're watching next week.
All right.
All right. We love you.
All right. Love you. We love you too. I mean, I love you too.
All right. All right. Love you. Bye.
Love you too. Bye.
All right. So 8.2. All right. About them Rotten Tomatoes.
Critics.
Oh, fuck.
92.
Fuck you. That's what I was going to say. I bet it's 90 something. I guarantee it's 90 something. I'm going to $1. I'm saying 93.
I'm going to say 87.
Joseph got it. It's 96.
Oh, wow. Really?
man.
Damn, dude. I knew it was going to be in the
87.
90s. It has
I'm
to
saying
be.
87.
87.
For the audience?
Audience.
I bet the audience loves this movie too.
What was the critics? 96.
96. I'm gonna go even 90. 90 on the audience.
I would 97.
Eric, 83%.
Really?
What?
Wow. I thought it'd at least be up there, man. But that's still good. I mean, we're actually more on par with the audience.
Critics' consensus: A Quiet Place artfully plays on elemental fears with a ruthlessly intelligent creature feature that's as original as it is scary and establishes director John Krasinski as a rising talent. This was by Eric.
You're very welcome.
1.5 stars.
Oh shit, son! You get called out.
I don't get how this movie is giving too much praise.
You took away my bumps
I
again.
didn't do anything, man. Just press the button again.
It always happens.
Don't give a fuck, Keisha.
You just ain't pressing the button properly, I think.
I don't give a fuck, Keisha.
Weird.
Always works for me, just saying.
What a downgrade compared to the previous films. Shaking my head.
What?
Yeah, you guys heard that?
No.
Say it again.
I don't get how this movie is giving too much praise. What a downgrade compared to the previous films. Shaking my damn head.
What
Review
previous
sucks.
films?
That's a good question.
What other films? This is the first one.
Correct.
Is there other Quiet Places? Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, hold on. I got a better one for that.
I was going to say.
I award you no
yeah, that's
points,
it right there.
and may God have mercy on your soul.
Dumbass.
Movie was good. It is, though, hard to swallow. Unintentional. I don't know what that means. That they want to have another child in a quiet world.
I mean,
I'm sure they didn't want to. It just happened.
Yeah, again, I digress. I don't think that they
No.
planned
I'm
it.
pretty sure they were just like, oh, damn, that feels good. Oh. Shit. Here we go.
I imagine the plot would have been different, but it's okay. Not bad. Just not that good as the ratings make it out to be.
I mean, I guess that's an opinion.
That is an
That is-
opinion.
you're right. That's an opinion. That's exactly what that was.
I just think it's ridiculous. Like, oh, how can they have a baby in the apocalypse?
I don't know. A lot of people are like, I'm afraid of bringing a
Unless
baby
you're going to
into
be
this world.
abstinent, like, it's going to happen.
I mean, wait.
They had 3 before that. You think they ain't fucking?
Oh, shit.
Bitch is hardcore.
The bitch is hardcore. That
No-
bitch is hardcore,
no
dude.
shit.
Not even joking.
The concept is amazingly good, but the writing is kind of lame. It's problem after conflict after jump scare. The first half of the movie is great.
I disagree.
Yeah, wholeheartedly, because
Yeah. There's no, so for one, there's not a lot of jump scares in this movie. There's
No.
a couple. But like it's not jump scare after and it's not problem after problem. All their problems arise at the same fucking time and they all
Yeah.
happen in the same night.
It's called a climax.
Yeah,
of a
exactly.
film. Yeah.
And so
there's
I don't know
a
where you're
build-up.
getting all
There's
that.
There's a build-up.
There's a build up
and
to
there's-
that, and that day, essentially, that all these things happen. Your fucking opinion is dumb. Just saying, putting it out there.
The first half of the movie is
What's his
great.
name? What was his name?
Oh, I cut that part off.
Oh, damn.
Sorry.
Let me call that ficker out.
Well, Lottie frickin' God!
Just find her name and be like hashtag. dicknuts.
Jay and Silent Bill, their asses, or Silent Bill. Silent Bob.
What was that, Mr. Bill?
Mr. Bill. Oh no!
Did you guys see the trailer for the new Kevin Smith movie coming out that I posted on Discord?
No, I haven't been on there
Yeah,
today.
movie.
420
No, it's 420 movie
Nah, I
or
haven't.
430 movie is what it's called.
I'll
I haven't
430
been on there
movie.
today.
So it's I mean, just watch the trailer. It looks actually really good. It looks
Yeah.
like classic Kevin Smith.
Okay.
That's what I want. It
Okay.
looks like something that could remind me of like Mallrats or Clerks,
Okay.
and I'm good with it. So I'm like, finally, like a actual Kevin
Oh.
Smith movie.
And if you're interested, apparently Paramount has got the rights to Dogma from Harvey Weinstein. So we'll probably be getting
A 4K.
probably a 4K or something.
About fucking
Would
time.
be my guess.
I'm glad that little
Because,
pederast
like,
finally fucking let up off them rights.
No
Uh, yeah, because I see people finding the original Blu-ray release, and they're paying fucking like
shit. Through the nose.
through
No,
the fucking
never
nose
would.
for it. But
Never would.
I mean, I think we had like 3 copies on DVD. I'm being honest.
I picked up some good shit at the Walmart the other week, man. My Nightmare on Elm Street all on Blu-ray. Did I show you guys? Did I tell you guys that?
I don't think so.
I thought I saw a picture.
I think I did. I posted it.
Was it in the Discord?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I might have seen it.
So finally got my fucking Nightmare on Elm Street on Blu-ray.
They need to do a fucking box set.
They do need a box set,
did
but
a
I'll take
Jason
what I
one,
got.
but we can't get one.
I'll
Fucking
take
Nightmare.
what I got. I got the whole.
The first one's getting a 4K release.
Is it?
Yeah.
So I got that, and I also got.
So now you gotta get all of them.
I got
in
the
4K.
little. Yeah, I got the little Monsters Steelbook.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just have the normal.
Yeah.
BMD release or what? I don't know.
Oh.
There was a whole.
I got the Steelbook, and I'm like, fuck, I was happy about that. And then I got Abigail on Blu-ray, which
That's fucking good.
that's a good fucking movie. I don't care
You
what
ever
it is.
seen that? You watch Abigail? Like the little ballerina vampire?
You ain't
Oh,
seen
no,
Abigail?
No, not yet. I've been
Oh,
waiting to.
dude, you should
I'll let you
fucking
borrow the
watch
Blu-ray.
It just came out on Paramount, didn't it?
I don't know.
It's supposed to release on Paramount.
I'll let you borrow it. I got it upstairs on Blu-ray now. And then also I bought Boy Kills World.
Hold on,
That's
let me see.
fucking stuff.
That fucking movie was awesome. I bought it. I was like, I gotta buy this movie.
Because I've been waiting for it to come out.
So I'll let you borrow. Have you seen Boy Kills World? You'll like that one, dude. I'll let you borrow that one too.
Vestron. We had the original Vestron. Like,
Those movies were pretty good, especially Abigail. Abigail was really good. Sorry,
Agree.
Karen, we cut
yeah,
you
that's
off,
what I
dude.
got.
Go ahead with your. Oh, that one is sweet. That one's better than mine.
Yeah, it just came out on Peacock. I'll watch it on Peacock.
Okay,
Yeah, it just came
It's
out.
good.
Dude, watch
It
it.
is worth
it's
it.
really good.
The first half of the movie is great. It depicts the clever ways the family has survived thus far, casually and quite well. But the back-to-back creature encounters and hitches in the story to keep us on our toes are just so constant and frequent that it's hard not to expect them. Edit. Also, the choices the characters make are so dumb. All capital. Half the time. And there's no reasonable explanation for their mistakes that would piss me off less other than they wanted to, or it's to help the plot move forward.
It's almost like he wrote his review, posted it, and was like, another thing. Hold on. Went back to his review. Another thing, guys. And then it just, like,
well, and
why?
that sense doesn't even really make much sense. But anyway, it takes away from helping the audience feel like
You are one pathetic loser.
these are real people who have studied up on the creatures like the movie so obviously points at. Instead, it's rather like a family of idiots experiencing them for the first time. Name calling. Why?
He really has some disdain for this family.
He does. Yeah, he does.
Yeah. Okay. Stephen T. 2 stars. First off, I like the concept. Aliens land and take over the planet. Can't see, but can hear ridiculously well. It has a good cast, and the acting is great to make you feel that horror and suspense. However, this is the dumbest film I have ever watched.
Oh my god, I
Man.
got that.
Yeah, sound doesn't
Go watch
travel.
Prehistoria or Transformers
Come
2.
over to our side. We'll show you a lot.
Boy, we have such sights to show you.
Yeah.
Sound doesn't.
That should be a fucking bump, dude. That should be about some Hellraiser in there.
There we
Yeah.
go.
What
They
sights
got a
we
bump.
have to show you?
And you
Yeah.
can just play it whenever me
Yeah.
and her start talking
Yeah,
about our dumb
exactly.
shit that we watch.
That does need to be a bump.
Was that
Uh,
Pastor T-Rex or whatever?
Oh,
Velociraptor.
Philosopher, yeah.
Velociraptor.
That was amazing.
Velocipastor.
Philosopastor, that's
Yeah.
what it was.
Velocipastor? Yeah. That was amazing.
Yeah. Insert explosion here.
Samurai Cop.
insert FX here.
Yeah, yeah.
Samurai Cop. You seen that one?
Kung Pao, baby. Kung Pao.
That's
Yes.
that's a great
I
movie.
know it's a great fucking movie.
Bye bye.
My nipples look like milk duds.
We turned him wrong on
We've
purpose.
done that. That movie, is that in the box?
I thought we did do that, didn't we?
We didn't do that movie.
We have not.
We've not done
I
Kung
love
Pao.
that movie. It's so stupid. It's fun.
That should be another live watch, of course, but we would just be sitting
No,
here
we
laughing
talked
the
about
whole
doing it
time.
and bringing Josh on here. That's what it
Oh,
was.
Josh
That's
would
what
be
Josh
like-
would not.
he would not.
Unless we didn't tell him, but he'd insist on knowing.
Yeah.
Sound doesn't travel like it suggests, and they could have set up better soundproof areas if a simple mattress protects them and a wooden basin. Why not wear socks? They are quieter and healthier than bare feet because they fucking suck when they get wet.
Not to mention, like, they're just going to get holes in them anyway, and they're still walking on
Oh,
your
and
bare
right
feet.
after he says, "Why not wear socks?" He says, "Like near the waterfall, maybe if they can't hear you over that."
What?
Like,
Where-
who wants to wear socks near
What's
a
this
waterfall?
guy's name?
Stephen T.
You imagine
Shut
what
up, Steven.
You know what socks do when you're walking around with wet socks?
Yeah, they make more noise. They pick up more dirt and everything. Shut the fuck up, Steve.
Yeah, so what's with
Fucking
the old
Steve.
idiot in the woods? Why didn't he want to join them or be excited to see other humans? Why didn't the dad just throw the axe instead of getting himself murdered? The baby should have screamed almost immediately after being born.
Why didn't he throw the axe? Well, they have fucking armored skin. That's one thing. Not to mention, what the fuck do you think that axe is going to do against a giant alien compared to his little squishy body?
But it only does it when it's convenient to the plot. Just a few things that bother me, but my god, it was dumb. So dumb. How this got such a high score as it did is beyond me. I guess people are dumb.
No, you're dumb.
If you want to be scared, watch a good horror movie or even a good thriller. This is not it. It did not eat.
It is starving.
The 0.5 was only for Emily Blunt's acting. It wasn't scary, and if you want the same plot twist but more interesting, just watch Stranger Things.
Go fuck yourself.
Put that cookie down!
Oh my god, really? Like, never mind. We'll just continue.
Thin and weak like a bad iced coffee with a fancy label.
So Starbucks.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Was that expensive piece?
Last one. I know it's just me, but I couldn't shake the feeling that the mysterious creature was going to turn out to be Dwight Schrute.
That'd be fucking hilarious. No, Dwight Schrute's cousin or
Oh,
cousin.
yeah. Well,
So
fucking,
if that was the case,
what
That
was his
would be
name?
never take
fucking
this movie.
amazing.
Could you imagine having a serious movie all
And
the
then
way
at
up
the
until the
end,
climax? You're like,
fucking-
wait, what?
At the end, it's
Would that?
fucking,
Would,
Is
hold
this
on, let me
creepy
ask you this:
cousin?
would that movie piss you off, or would you be like,
That's the greatest comedy I've ever seen.
so like? Well, if you think about it, like if you walk,
Maybe
if you
find
walk
out
into
it's
this
the
movie,
it's the
yeah,
the
if you walk into this
Schrute's,
movie thinking you're getting this like 100%,
Moe's.
Moe's.
yeah.
Moe's.
Imagine if you walked into a movie thinking I'm getting this 100% serious horror movie, and then like all the way up until like the last 10 minutes, it's like bam, Dwight Schrute, and it's a fucking comedy. You're like, wait, what? You're gonna walk out of that movie theater pissed off.
I
And then
don't know.
But then, hold on now, I'm not done. More you think about it, you're like, holy shit,
That was fucking
that was
amazing.
fucking amazing.
No, I don't think so because like there's been movies sort of like
That
Bodies,
twist.
Bodies, Bodies.
That
Working
fucking
yourself
twist.
I
Working
love that
yourself
movie.
up, working yourself up through the whole movie, like, oh my god, this is a great horror movie, and then like, bam, comedy. You're like, wait, what? What?
At the-
Oh no, I'm
at the
telling
end-
you, I
Like
think
it's
I would
like
love
it's
it.
like a mixed emotion. You're like, you don't know what to think.
No,
at-
I think I would love it.
at
Bodies,
the
Bodies,
end-
Bodies. I love that.
At the end,
Love-
Mo,
Yeah, but that
it.
movie wasn't serious.
Hey,
Serious. Like
That's true.
at
like
the
like this
True.
movie is serious. Could you imagine having that all the way up until the end, and then like it's like an unmasking in Scooby Doo where you're like, huh, it was the gardener. You know what I mean? Like something stupid like that. Like it would be fucking
I
hilarious.
could just see it now. I could just see it now.
Yeah, I mean, I
Mo's
love
at
it.
Mo's at the end, just playing fucking chess with the fucking boy. He just took the boy at the beginning, and at the end, Mo's just playing fucking chess playing chess in the back.
Could you like? They have never done a movie like that before, though.
No.
Like, could you? If it happens, we're gonna be like, I'm on board for this
Mhm.
because you're like, I want. And don't give anything away in any of the trailers.
And when
Give
people leave the
nothing
theater,
away.
they have to sign an NDR.
Yeah, like do not speak about this movie. But like to have that at the end would
That's
be
right. That's
something
the right
fucking
verbiage, right?
tremendous.
NDR,
Fucking sure
non-disclosure.
beat
Yeah,
agreement,
it's
NDA.
NDA, it's non-disclosure agreement.
Yeah.
The whole time they were on the shirt beat farm.
That's
The
whole time.
hilarious. Oh God.
Sweet ass trivia with Karen.
What Emily Blunt? She takes off her face, and it turns out it's what's her face?
The blonde.
Is it Pam?
No, not
What's her
Pam.
fucking name?
In The Office.
Yeah, the
The blonde.
receptionist.
Yeah, that's Pam.
That's Pam.
It's Pam.
Pam.
Yeah,
Pam.
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 It's actually Pam.
What's her
Yeah.
name?
Yeah. In real life, or you?
No. Didn't somebody else take over?
Oh,
Later. That was
later.
Kimmy.
Kimmy.
Kimmy Schmidt.
I don't remember what her name was in The Office, though.
I can't
Yeah, I don't remember either.
Is it talking about Mindy? What's her face?
No, not Mindy.
No, it was the girl that played.
She
Kimmy
got red
Schmidt.
hair. She played Kimmy Schmidt later.
Oh,
Yeah, she ended up taking over Pam's role.
Yeah, I know who you're
At
talking
some
about.
point.
As the love interest?
No,
No,
not
no,
a gym.
No, she was just the receptionist after Pam.
Yeah.
After Pam.
Oh. I don't know. I didn't watch it that far. Pretty much after Steve Carell left, I was like, yeah, I'm done with the show.
I finished
Yeah,
it.
after Steve
It was
is
like a
gone.
season,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
Hmm?
Wasn't it like a season?
Season 8 or something like that. After
You
season
mean it's
8.
decline?
After season 8, John
Just
left,
watch the IT
Steve
crowd.
left.
It's better. Gotta pee.
No, they were all in it.
Just sporadic.
All right, move on. Come
Oh.
on, let's keep moving. We're
Yeah,
at
we're-
2 hours, 19 minutes.
Yeah.
Emily Blunt did the bathtub scene in one take, according to John Krasinski. As soon as he said cut, Blunt left the character and asked the crew, "What's everyone having for lunch?"
I'll do a bathroom scene with her.
The film's director and male lead John Krasinski played the creature in a motion capture suit for a few scenes.
Yeah, I heard about this.
John Krasinski has said that the single greatest compliment he received regarding the film was in a tweet from the master of the horror story himself, Stephen King. A Quiet Place is an extraordinary piece of work, terrific acting, but the main thing is the silence and how it makes the camera's eyes wide open in a way few movies manage.
It's true.
It is.
I agree with that, actually.
Yeah.
For sure. There are real family photos of John
Makes you
Krasinski.
focus on a lot of other things.
Yeah. There are real family photos of John Krasinski and Emily Blunt and their children used in the film.
Huh.
The final look of the creature wasn't fully figured out until very late in the process during post-production. And I brought that up because I thought we were probably going to talk about, because I agreed that it seemed like it wasn't really thought out very well.
What was it?
That the final look of the creature wasn't fully figured out until very late in the process during post-production. It seemed like that it was like the last thing that they thought
I think
of.
so. I think it was just kind of one of those things that were like, all right, yeah, that's good enough. That's what I feel like that's what they said.
Yeah, like good
at the
enough.
end.
we're
Yeah, it's
done.
good enough, you
Yeah.
know, because the look of the creature didn't seem like it almost seems like an afterthought.
Yeah, it was like,
For the movie.
you know what? Like that seems like what everybody
Like I
likes
don't
right
think
now.
that whenever John Krasinski was thinking up this movie or he was writing it with whoever else he was writing it with, he wasn't sitting back saying like, well, what about what do the creatures look like, or what can we do with the creature look? I don't think he was thinking about that. I think that everything else around the movie was what was his main focus.
Yeah.
The creatures were not. And that's why I think the creatures in themselves just kind of look like every other creature and why they look so kind of cheap.
Right.
I wouldn't say cheap, but they look like every other creature.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that's the biggest
I think it was
flaw.
just kind of like one of those things where like, hey, just find what is
yeah,
popular
what's
right
popular,
now. And
what
kind
can we
of
do?
go
Yeah,
with
what
it.
can we do with this and go with it? You know?
Yeah.
And I think that was a big misstep on them.
Mhm.
I think, you know,
Yeah.
because they could have really had something more iconic here.
Mhm.
Like, you know, just take for instance, whenever they did Alien, you know, whenever Alien came out and they brought in H.R. Geiger to design the alien, design the aesthetic of all that. I think that was a huge part for that movie, and what really still attracts people to those movies, because the look of the xenomorph is iconic. at this
Oh,
point.
yeah.
Same as like the look of the Predator. Whenever they did the Predator, so because the Predator was going to be like this fucking ugly looking insect looking kind of creature, and they're like, we don't like the look of the monster, so let's change that and make it look different. And they went with this whole like vagina with teeth sort of look on the face and everything, and it worked, but it worked well.
Yeah.
And so all those things, like that's what I'm saying. Like this movie could be more iconic if they would have just done more with the design of the creatures.
Right.
I think that it would have impacted people more.
I
It could have stood up there with Alien and Predator and all that stuff.
Mhm. For the test screenings of the film, audience members laughed in scenes with the creature present, as the CGI for the creature was either not finished or completely absent, leaving John Krasinski in motion capture scenes motion capture suit for scenes where he played the monster. Further screenings were well received once the CGI was done. I just think that would have been funny to see.
Just him in like creature suits and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
Paraphrasing this one because it's really long, but basically original ideas for this film were to incorporate it in the Cloverfield franchise. And then they brought John Krasinski into it, sort of, and the guys that originally came up with the concept before they brought John Krasinski into it brought it to Paramount, and Paramount were like, now let's not make it part of the Cloverfield.
It kind of explains the creatures a little bit.
Maybe. I don't know.
Well, the way they walk, like their legs and things like that, that is Cloverfield. Not so much the face, the way the face looks and things, but
yeah. But the two guys that came up with the concept of it, they were really, really worried that it was going to get swept up into a franchise because of the undertones of it.
Well, here it is, a franchise.
Well, no, like get swept up. They're okay with it being its own,
but they didn't want it swept up into like J.J. Abrams franchise.
Yeah, they didn't want it pulled into like Cloverfield. They, not that there was anything wrong with Cloverfield, they just didn't want it.
Cloverfield pissed me off because we all thought it was a Godzilla movie whenever it was. They were teasing it, like, "Oh my god, I think it's Godzilla." It wasn't Godzilla. We were pissed off.
John Krasinski.
No,
but then we got Godzilla years later, so it was all worth it.
John Krasinski almost turned down
Austin Powers scene. Look, it's Godzilla. No, it's not Godzilla, but we should pretend it's Godzilla.
Because of copyright laws. John Krasinski almost turned down this film just as he was about to start work on Tom Clancy's Jack Ryan. When asked by the producers if he'd be interested in appearing in a horror film, John replied that he did not do horror. But when he was presented with the premise about a family that can't make any noise and you have to figure out why, he jumped on board straight away.
Which is weird. Who goes to, of all people, John Krasinski? Like, like, hey man, you want to be in this horror movie? Who the fuck are you? Like, well, that's what everyone
from The Office.
The guy from The Office. You know what I mean? Like the guy from The Office. Like I don't understand. Like, okay, Jordan Peele came out and did his own thing with horror movies. He was, that was him. Like John Krasinski, someone approached John Krasinski of all. Like it was almost like they saw a random comedian or actor at a restaurant. Like, hey, let's see if he'll budget our movie. You know what I mean? Like, let's see if he'll film our movie. You know what I mean? Like,
let's stroke his ego just a little.
Just a little bit. Like, man, you're great in The Office. You're so cool. You're the best person on the show. Yeah. Well, what's this movie you're talking about again? You know what I mean? Like, it's so weird. Like,
right.
It's such a random occurrence. Yeah.
Brian Wood's and Scott Beck's original screenplay contained only one line of voice dialogue. And then this kind of goes back to what you were saying about, like, how do they, see, so to speak. Every time a creature is near, the lights start flickering and Reagan's processor starts to create feedback, suggesting that the creatures send out some electromagnetic signals that disrupt electricity and are transplanted into noise by Reagan's cochlear implants. Since the creatures lack the ability to see, they may have other sensory systems that make use of electromagnetism.
Okay, that's fine and all good.
I forgot about that.
But that's never explained.
It's not going to help them out there in the wild.
That's a theory because of the light.
Okay, I get that, but like I said, it's never explained in either of the movies. None of the movies, actually, at all.
I think that's kind of the point, is that they're not going to explain.
But like I said, it's not going to help them out there in the wild where there's no electricity.
Right? Yes. Yeah. Right. That's not going to help in the wild.
There
is no electricity.
No.
I mean, what are they going to do? I mean, electrical field in the ground? I mean,
maybe.
That's
know.
barely.
I guess they are aliens, so there's a lot of variables that we could not understand, I suppose. But
anyways,
whatever.
Moving on.
Slam it.
What's in the box? What's in the fucking box?
I got you. Thanks. I just saw
quick flip.
I just saw RoboCop.
Night of the Living Dead. Romero's.
We can't do that.
Why not?
Because we're going to do it for the 200th episode.
Oh.
Remember, we're going to do
redo.
So we're okay.
Yeah, so take that out because we remember we were going to do that.
Well, it was the Romero series.
Redo.
Still can't do it.
Yeah, we can't
Doing
do
for
it.
The 200.
We can do it in the 200s. We can't
Let's
do
go.
it now.
We'll just have to pull these out as we play.
Yeah,
them,
because
you know what I mean?
because remember we're gonna do the original plus the remake.
So just set that to the side.
Yeah.
Redo.
We'll just have to keep these
Well,
to the
have to
side
pull
for
them out,
the
yeah.
when they come out.
Yeah, fuck, that sucks.
Give me a comedy.
RoboCop.
Give me a comedy.
Oh, you can't do it next week.
Deadpool.
Fucking really?
I'm
Holy
good with
shit.
that.
I'm all right with that. Yeah, all right. So an action comedy.
Fucking Deadpool.
Oh, I could if it was pulled. Eric said he'd give up a spot, so I could. Be
I
on
would.
it
I'd
if I
give up my
wanted.
spot for RoboCop for him if we do pull it and it's not a week that he can or. I'll give up my spot.
I bet that Madison would almost give up her spot just for RoboCop because she's like.
I
But
don't
then
care
again,
about
I'd
that
want her
movie.
opinion. I would
Whichever.
almost want her opinion on RoboCop too.
Whichever,
So-
it don't matter.
Well, like even then, Eric's willing to do that if he wants to pull out of any Texas Chainsaw.
I'm gonna let you know. I'm gonna let you know now. Whenever we do RoboCop,
He's like, save me from this bullshit.
Joseph's like, okay.
whenever we do RoboCop, you're guaranteed a spot on the
Yes.
podcast for sure. It doesn't matter.
Eric's like,
Even if I gotta set up a fifth mic. So I'll figure something out.
Eric's like, I'm tagging him in for those Texas Chainsaw movies.
You're in, dude.
I'll take one.
Why's Ada calling me?
40.
Sorry, Ada.
However many movies there are.
All right.
You all got to watch like 4 or 5.
I don't know.
know.
Too damn many.
2 remakes. 3,
Yeah.
about 8.
She might need you.
She might. She'll wait though. All right. So next week we are doing Deadpool, the first one. That's funny because I just literally went and watched the new one in theaters. That's weird. So Deadpool next week. Don't forget to check out all the social stuff and all that good shit. And until next week when we do Deadpool, I wonder who. Oh man, Ryan Reynolds. It's gonna be Ryan Reynolds for the creator
The
profile.
doy.
The doy.
Yeah.
Anyway, next week, Deadpool. And Deadpool and Ryan. Yeah, whatever. Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.